The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. And before I start running my mouth, I need to make sure that the audio works, because last week there were some issues with me and the audio, but everything seems to be working properly tonight. So welcome to the show. I'd like to invite you to go to talkrealsolution.com, and on there you'll find the 3-point plan to Black empowerment and financial freedom. It has 3 points. The first point is to get together with like-minded people. The next point is to stop all unnecessary spending and save your money. The third point is, as a unit, invest or save your money in a verified and trusted institution. A great goal would be for you to open a Black-owned business, and right above the 3-point plan, you have a link to African American banks and credit unions. We could all start moving our money to these institutions to start practicing group economics today, and check out the rest of the links and articles on the website. And if you want to participate in the show tonight, all you have to do is call in to the number at 717-908-1834, and we'll get you on the show here. I'm steady checking my audio to make sure that I ain't screwing up whenever I speak, because I need for it to work. Hold on for 1 second, guys. Yeah. So, and y'all know me, I'll let you own the show. I'll let you comment on whatever you want to talk about. Just call into the number. I'll see you in the queue, and then I'll let you in, and we can have a conversation. I just asked. Oh man. I just asked that you be respectful and try to share the microphone and try not to talk over each other. And especially with me, I'm trying to host the show. I do have very opinionated views, and I get that, but at the same time, I got to control the traffic. So if you're talking over me, then it ain't nothing but a big old cluster of information getting heard across the airways here, and it just sounds crazy. So, and the majority of the people do pretty good, but it's mainly Sarge's ass that don't know how, that don't have the discipline, that can't damn be respectful and allow other people's opinion to be heard. For some damn reason, I don't know what is wrong with that man when it comes to interacting with people on the internet. He just, I know what it is. Like he wants to be the, like I said, well, like Black Jesus Minister. Black Jesus Minister wants to be the debate champion of the world. He wants to hold the international championship of debate. And Sarge don't announce it, but that's basically what he does. Is he wants to be the debate champion of the world. He wants to be the one that debates and but it's not debating that he does. He just tried to scream over you. He's not open to hear other ideas be inserted into the conversation because he know that he will lose. Just like the information that I have tonight about politics that we discussed last week, I'm going to show you how I was right and this idiot was wrong. I'm just, and that's all I got is facts to share with you guys. I don't have opinions. I give you facts, and specifically, it's about the 14th Amendment. That's what I'm going to show Sarge that he wrong about tonight. And you know, I titled the show "Cheesecake, Gaza, 14th, and Gun Control." And the reason that I did that is gun control now is because those are things that pop across my timeline. That I see Sarge in the damn chat room. What's up, Sarge? Those are things that popped across my timeline that caught my attention. So I'll start out with this cheesecake thing. This thing is going viral, or has gone viral, about this lady who refused to go on a date to the Cheesecake Factory. Everybody is talking about this, and I clicked on the video, and it's a mess, but it's a sign of the times that we're in. It's a sign of the times that we're in. Just right off the bat, I'm just telling you that this lady was wrong. And I put a couple of images up here so you guys can be reminded of what I'm talking about. If y'all seen it going across social media, it's this young lady on a date with this guy. And he took her to the Cheesecake Factory. Let me see. This might be an article that I can share with you. I guess it is. Yeah, he took her to the Cheesecake Factory, and she turned on her phone, got on social media, and she was just, oh, I'm too good for the Cheesecake Factory. I'm not going on no first date to the Cheesecake Factory. And I give shout out to the gentleman for putting up with the shit, because I wouldn't have put up with it. First, he was an hour late getting dressed, and he had another date planned for her, but because she was an hour late, they missed the appointment for the other date. Let me see. Here, this is the website called, what is that? Distractify. I've never been here, but I'm pretty sure it's going to summarize the story here. It says, after a woman refuses to go to the Cheesecake Factory for the first date, social media users are dragging her. Here's what went down. Another day, another conversation about first date expectations on social media. It is common for men and women to not see eye to eye when it comes to first date. Some men and women are partial to coffee or ice cream dates as the first date, in which they pay. On the flip side, others believe that the date doesn't have to cost $300, but it should showcase the man's putting in the thought and considering what the date might be like. That said, it's an argument that is never ending. And that's it. That's a point of view or perspective that you hear coming from Mr. Solutions all the time about what the date should look like and his obligations to the date on the first date, right? That's why I pick on about the napkin and water, because that's what he said on the first date that a woman is worth, in his opinion, you know, because I guess by that time they haven't earned enough of his respect or shown enough credibility to earn anything else except for napkins and water. And I could be wrong, and I ain't trying to dog him, but people have those perspectives, right? So this lady had a perspective of, she didn't want to go to a chain restaurant, which is the Cheesecake Factory, for the first date. Okay, so it goes on to say, so when when a woman on TikTok shared that she refused to get out of the car after a man drove them to the first date to a chain restaurant, the Cheesecake Factory, all hell broke loose. Folks have been calling her everything but the child of God for being inconsiderate. Here's the scoop. A woman refuses to go to the Cheesecake Factory for the first date. Some may say she has standards. Others will say that she needs a reality check. And an October 11, 2023 TikTok video shared by the creator Monique Santos, she revealed what went down when she told her date that she wouldn't accept their first date being at the Cheesecake Factory. As the video started, the gentleman got out of the car and he went around to the passenger door to open the door. And this is what she said. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out of the car, the woman said. The man knocked on the window and she made a hand gesture saying no. She lowered the window and the man asked if he could open her door for her. The woman then moved the camera so that her date could appear in the frame, and he questioned her about being recorded. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, the woman repeated in front of the man who asked what was the problem. What's the problem with that? The man asked. The woman explained to him it's a chain restaurant. And questioned what kind of man would take a woman who looks like her to a restaurant like that. The man then asked if they could talk about it and got back in the vehicle. The man then asked the woman if she expected a man to go all out for her on the first date. Yes, you're supposed to. That type of mentality is what Solution speaks against, and I don't completely agree with that. Whenever you take a beautiful woman, take out a beautiful woman, you're courting her because I get courted. So you're courting her right. You're supposed to take care of her, cover and protect her, cherish her, treat her well. That is what you're supposed to do. While the man understood what the woman was saying, he replied by mentioning that he has done all those things and also had expectations of his own. The man wants a respectful, cooperative woman. This spawned a discussion where the man shared that the woman wasn't cooperative in various instances throughout the date. Once the man said that there was nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, the woman interjected to disagree. Interestingly, the man took out his planner and showed the second restaurant that he was considering for the date. The woman said she approved of that restaurant and he could call them to make the reservations. However, the man refused. The man explained that the woman was disrespected him by having him wait for her an hour for her to come downstairs at her home, essentially making them late. Although she said that she had work obligations that cut into her time, she said that she didn't know the man that well enough to invite her up to their home. The man then said if they're at a place, you know what I'm gonna do? I ain't gonna read this whole goddamn thing. But what I do is I do have the audio. I want y'all to hear this crazy lady. And listen, we live in a time to where social media is controlling and dictating everything we do basically in our lives, right? And dating is no exception. So I get it. The way people meet people nowadays is on social media, and the way that we interact with the world is through social media. And I don't know if these two met on social media or not, but the reason that I'm including social media is because the lady was doing a live during the date on social media, and you guys will hear that on the audio, but I'm going to let y'all hear the conversation through this audio, and you're going to find out it's just ridiculous as it sounds. So, and I'll speak on the other side of it. There's going to be some car noise at first, so we got to get to the talking here in about, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds or so.
There. Just need to find some parking.
They're looking for a parking space.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is it?
Nothing. I'm just talking to my girls.
Okay. Tell them I said hi.
Yeah.
Woo. Let me just get the door for you.
Okay. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Look.
Are you're recording me?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh, yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Oh, okay.
Okay. So,
yes. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date. Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to. When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I agree. I went into this date as I expect, with the expectations for myself, to keep you safe, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty nice, but I mean,
and then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least
what did I do that wasn't cooperative?
Well, I mean, even when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay.
I don't know you.
I can respect that. I can respect that.
Okay.
When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
again.
I don't know there
yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
And then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
But
I got myself all made up.
Nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well look at my planner where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him.
No.
What do you mean no?
See,
I
I
know you
specifically
didn't.
told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 a.m. At 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs.
I understand.
For an hour, right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late. And like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment. And that is not possible.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice, fancy restaurant as Aria. Especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do. I would have been. Okay. But if we're late, I told you twice.
Late. It wasn't that late.
We literally left your place at the time the reservation was supposed to be. And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot. Waiting for a reservation.
We can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, the equivalent to that? I literally you don't understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
There's nothing wrong with
I will die. That's embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain expectations for that. No. I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So, respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm up.
So, you just want to call it a night? Isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I'm sorry, y'all.
But out of the parking space.
If I don't feel respected, I'm not gonna go through with the rest of the day.
Well, you are serious. You're really leaving.
Yeah. You didn't want this place anyway, right?
I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise. Are you sure you want to go home?
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already said them, and you've broken every one.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
All right, whatever. Well, I guess I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. Well, I'm sorry. I understand where you're coming from.
All right, and that was the video that is circulating on social media that is going viral. And you heard that whole interaction between this lady and her date. Now, the reason that I'm getting it is because I kind of follow. Oh, no, I ain't gonna say follow, but I get video suggestions from these guys in the manosphere, and every one of them, they're losing their mind because this lady conducted herself that way. And to a certain extent, I don't blame them because I don't agree with nothing that lady said. I don't agree with the way the whole date turned out and her posting it on social media and all that. I don't agree with none of that stuff. But these guys, when they talk to me, they would tell me that I would simp for that lady or whatever. No. Y'all got it wrong. Because what y'all don't understand is I don't let people like this bother me, right? I would never put myself in the predicament to even be in that situation. And if I seen a situation like that coming up, I would remove myself from that situation and I wouldn't go on social media and speak about it. That's just me. But you guys see this stuff right here, and the next thing you know, you making a big old fuss about black women and how they act and all this kind of crap when it ain't even called for. You guys are elevating it more then it need to be elevated. This lady was wrong from jump, in my opinion. The guy said that he showed up to the apartment at 4:00. He had appointments for the restaurant, for a nice restaurant, and she was an hour late. So them showing that wasn't real. It was a skit. No, that wasn't a skit. I seen that Kevin Wesley actually had them on their YouTube channel, Elisa, and he did an interview with them. Let me Google that right quick. He did an interview with both of them, and okay, how can I get to YouTube? He did an interview with both of them, and they sat down, and I watched the interview. Hold on. Yeah, right here. Yeah, he invited both of them to the show.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not.
Rise and shine, beautiful soul.
They sit down. See, he got them both on the couch. And at the end of Kevin Wesley interview, Kevin Wesley said that his channel was going to pay for them to go on a second date. So, you know, I guess they might try it again or whatever. But it was definitely real, because during this interview right here, both of them was expressing how they felt on the date,
Right.
And all of that kind of stuff. But my point is, that lady was embarrassing, and for her to stream it and do all that kind of stuff. If you going on a date and then they pull out their phone and they on social media, you don't need to be on that date, because that ain't what the date is about, right? If you're going on a date and then they want to film it live and all that kind of stuff, then that should send up signals that, you know, this ain't even a thing, right? And the guy, I guess he was trying to be as respectful as possible with the lady, and he was telling her what he expects and all that kind of stuff, but she would just kept going and going and going and going. And like I said, the way that she came off, she giving this manosphere group of people talking points and all that kind of stuff. And this is the kind of person that these guys feed into. They turn this lady into a representation of the black community or black women, and she doesn't represent black women. She might represent a certain demographic of black women that is heavily into social media and all that kind of stuff, but everybody ain't like that, you know. And we always know the squeaky wheel gets the noise. So that date and the way it turned out was the squeaky wheel, and it's going viral because people are, you know, it just looked a mess. So that's one thing that's going viral. The Kevin Wesley part was a skit. Did you see the Kevin Wesley interview? Let me Google this. Lisa saying it was a skit. Well, anyway, I'm just going to, if it was a skit, then I'm just going to give you my opinion of what it was. What my opinion is. So if it was real, then, you know, I disagree with that lady's attitude, and she's not a representation of anything, and the way she was acting was just terrible. And if you see people like this on social media acting like this, you shouldn't give them, you know, the light of day. You know, I wouldn't. Why are you highlighting this stuff? Why are you making it a thing? Why ain't we talking about more better situation or positive situations when it comes to relationships? But these guys are hell bent on picking out negative things and negative things about black women and all that kind of stuff, and highlighting that and saying, "See, this is what I told you." And that's the kind of feeds that I get on my social media, because I do click on some of their videos and watch them complaining about our community and black women, and I'm like, these guys need to do better. I mean, that's their whole channel is let me see something. That's their whole channel is just looking for something negative. Let me see. Negative to say about our community, right? What I'm looking for is like the channels, like this guy right here, he would be speaking negative about black women. I ain't even looked at the video, but I can tell how he postured is that he's using this video to bash black women. I can tell how these guys are postured on this video is that they're using this video to speak bad about black women. This guy, this just whole videos made, and that's what their channel is about, is finding black women, and then they're just speaking terribly about them. And you can see that I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and finding these different videos that are postured on this video to say things negative about black women. This guy, I watched his video and he kind of made me sick. Just all of them. That's all they do. That I know this guy is one of these people. That's all they do is they actually just look for negative things about black women. Let me see if I can click on one of their channels and show you. Where's the guy that I seen today? Yeah, this guy. Hold on, let me see what kind of videos he got. Okay, yeah, here like look at this video. Just like there was another story that came out about the Joe Smith, an ex-NBA player's wife. Let me click on it.
Fashion.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so ex-NBA player's wife, Joe Smith, starts an OnlyFans page and don't tell her husband, right? Now, to me, the lady is into social media because she's video recording everything, her husband reaction and all that kind of stuff. But once again, this guy is saying this is how black women act. That's just not right. You know what I mean? And come to find out, this lady used to be a porn star. And she's been married for about 18 years or so. And I guess she did the porn stuff in her youth. But they're using that to say, ooh, you know, she's... let me find her video, because she's actually putting it out there about her not making money and needing finances, and that's why she started the OnlyFans page. And you know, that seems like a private affair between a husband and a wife, but these guys are turning it into, I don't know, this is how all black women act, and all black women are secretly porn stars and all this kind of dumb shit when they ain't. So the porn star that she used to be, her name is Keisha Chavis now. And her porn star name was something Pendivis. I can't even remember. But she used to be a porn star back in the day. And now she's not. And she's been married, had a family for this long, and they ran into some financial difficulties. And she was secretly started an OnlyFans page. And in this video here, she explains to her husband, look, OnlyFans is paying me really good. I'm not going out of the house. I'm right here in the house and I'm making OnlyFans content, and it's really paying me good. You know, so I don't know. I think that that's a family thing. And this guy, when he got married to this lady, he knew that she was a former porn star and knew what her life was about. Now she's wrong, because she should have at least had the conversation with her husband if she was determined to put herself out there like that again. You know, because she was a porn star. Then they must have came to some agreement before they got married, and she agreed to stop doing that type of stuff while they was married. And then all of a sudden, 18 years later, you in the bedroom stripping for money, and that's a problem. That is a problem. But I just seen a headline saying that this guy's not going to leave his wife, and I don't blame him for not leaving his wife. You know, they can work that out. That is something that they can work out. But like I said, these guys on social media, like the guy that this guy here, they turn it into a black woman thing, you know, and you can see on his channel, that's basically all he got. Entitled woman makes first date list, and he got a picture of Kevin Samuels. He's got all these crazy videos about black women. And that's what they do, and that's how I caught these videos caught my attention, with these guys in the, I guess, the red pill or whatever that is, manosphere, doing videos on this type of content and, you know, categorizing everybody as, you know, black women as this and black women as that, right? Is my chat room working? Hold on for a second. They said my chat room ain't working. Oh, it's working. But you know, that's my opinion about the Cheesecake Factory and the NBA player wife that used to be a porn star. It is what it is. People have their own lives. Women do what they want to do. And oh, here's another video that was going viral. He got all of them. You remember the lady that got hit in the face with the brick or whatever? Black men just jumped all over that lady. Even though she got hit with a brick, they said it was phony and all this kind of bullshit. Looked like she got attacked again, according to this video. I haven't watched it. But these are the kind of content that these people make. Like the Will and Jada Pinkett stuff that's going on. You know, everybody's blaming, these guys are blaming Jada Pinkett. It's crazy to watch how much they just jump on the side like the black men are babies and they need to be pacified and taken care of because, you know, fuck, you know, I'm the boss or whatever. It's just stupid that these guys make their content out of bashing their own goddamn community. And they got all kinds of followers following this dumb shit. And it's just sad. You know, it's sad, but it's probably my fault for clicking on these damn videos and trying to see what these guys have to say. All right, so we got that out the way. Now, what else we got here? I said Cheesecake Factory. Oh, there was another story that was and you guys can call in and talk about any of these topics that I'm getting ready to talk about, but this one was sad. There was a shooting, and I think it was in New York. I got to find it. Yeah, right here. I don't know if y'all seen this story. I'm pretty sure you did because it was terrible. And it kind of flooded the what is this? Okay, well, we ain't finna do that. It kind of flooded my timeline for a hot second. And I don't think I can show that video, so I don't want to show the video because somebody actually gets shot in this video. It was a man in, I think it was New York, named Jason Pass. Maybe I can just get images of it. Yeah, right here. I'll just leave the images up. It was this video in New York. But this guy named Jason Pass, the neighbors was having a dispute, right? And I guess this guy lived downstairs from the people that live upstairs. Well, I can show y'all this little part right here, I guess. Here the neighbor, this is the neighbor and their family coming out. Here's the guy that got shot. They're arguing about the noise. And I think he got shot too, the son. But when this guy turns around and walks away, his wife tried to pull him away. And he does. The guy's pulling the gun. And there is whenever he takes a shot and shoot this guy. You know, they didn't show it, so I'm good. But my point is, last week I was talking to y'all about mass shootings and guns in this country and how something needs to get done about the shootings in this country, right? The guns in this country. And this story just kind of goes in line with my conversation about gun violence last week. because this was unnecessary. This was a neighbor dispute about noise. The guy that shot the guy said that he was making too much noise. He was knocking on the ceiling, and the guy upstairs knocked back down on the floor, and then they met in the hallway, and then they had a shouting match, and then you seen the wife come out and try to pull the guy away, and when the guy got pulled away, the downstairs neighbor shot the guy, and then not only did he shoot that guy, he shot his son and killed him too. Now, the guy that shot the guy is named Jason Pass. He's 47 years old, and last I heard, he was still on the run. And how that goes into my gun conversation, right, is that there's so many guns in this country that you have a lot of unhinged people in this country that has access to these weapons, and instead of using common sense to resolve issues, they know that they have a weapon, so they will use that weapon to murder people to resolve their issues, which means there's too many guns in this goddamn country. Because you shouldn't be able to get angry and pull out a gun and murder somebody. You should not. Now, last week, we talked about how many mass shootings was in the country, right? And last week, if you see, it was 560 something, and this week it rose up to 587, right? Literally, there has been about 19 to 20 more mass shootings in this country since I talked to y'all about shootings and mass shootings in this country last week. And here's the data to prove it. The information that I was going off of last week was the mass shooting that killed 18 people, right? This is it. The one that killed 18 people. Now here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 mass shootings since last week. Now, did all of these end in death or whatever? No, they did not. But some did. A lot of them, well, most of them, all of them end in injuries of multiple people, as you can see. As you can see. But they were still considered mass shootings. And this country ain't doing a damn thing about these weapons on the street where we're just killing each other at whim on a daily fucking basis. Right? And not only are we killing each other, the guy in New York, he shot somebody and his son, and now he's on the run hiding. Right? The guy that killed the 18 people, I mean, he's dead now, but he was on the run after he shot and killed somebody. And these politicians ain't doing a damn thing except for watching these numbers go up and lining their pockets with the NRA money and lobbyists, and they're just lining their pockets because they're able to sell these fucking weapons in America, make record profit off of guns and ammunition, while people like Sarge, whenever he get angry, he wants to go run out and get mad enough to try to do something about it. I ain't gonna say Sarge gonna shoot nobody, so I'll take that back, but he may, because he's just that damn crazy. So my point that I'm trying to make is this shooting in New York, I think that was New York. Yeah, it was in Brooklyn, East Flatbush. This shooting in New York further emphasizes what I was saying last week about how many guns are in this country and something needs to be done about it. Then I'm giving you the additional data of that there's an additional 20 mass shootings since last week when we talked. That is crazy. That is crazy. And nobody gives a fuck about all of these people getting injured or getting killed in these mass shootings. We might as well be Gaza right now. as a country. We might as well be some third world country where the cartel is taking over, chopping heads off, blowing people away in the street. This is America. Nobody gives a crap about the carnage that is going on in this country at the hands of these weapons on our street that is killing our kids. The number one killer of children is guns. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. See, sorry, that statement you made, I debunked that shit last week, but you got these talking points in your head that you can't see the forest for the goddamn trees. This dumbass comment that you just made, the number of guns are not the problem. It is the uncontrolled criminals. Does anybody, let's dissect that damn statement. Does anybody see what's wrong with that goddamn sentence Sarge just made? So we're going to take the guns out of the equation, right? And we're going to take the last part of his sentence and say, he said, it is the uncontrolled criminals that is the problem. Right? So if the uncontrolled criminals are the problem, what method are the uncontrolled criminals using to kill people? Well, they're using guns, which makes guns the goddamn problem. You fucking moron. This is why I can't talk to these motherfuckers. Because if the uncontrolled criminals didn't have access to the guns, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation, Sarge. So your argument is stupid. This is what they use, this circular reasoning to try to justify murder in this country. You're defending the criminal whenever you make arguments like that. You're co-signing the carnage whenever you make arguments like that. Because you don't offer no solutions about how some people can be saved or not murdered by weapons. None of your comments offer any solutions about how people can stop dying at the hand of these people that are criminals. Now, let's take Sarge's example again, right? He said the uncontrolled criminals are the problem. The mass shooter last week that killed 18 people didn't have a criminal record. He had a mental record in the military, but he didn't have a criminal record. And I don't know anything about this Joe Pass, but I'm waiting to find out if he had a criminal record. Jason Pass? If he had a criminal record, because your argument is stupid. Jason Pass, criminal record. Let's see. But the majority of these people father and son murder, Jason suspect. I don't see no, hold on. Jason Pass. I don't see no criminal record for Jason Pass, Sarge. So stop making those stupid ass arguments. These people that are murdering people in this country have these weapons and they legally own these weapons, and 9 times out of 10, they're not fucking criminals when it comes to mass shootings in this country. Uvalde murderer wasn't a criminal. The Florida high school shooting wasn't a mass murderer. The Sandy Hook guy wasn't a mass murderer, wasn't a criminal. Right? So stop making those stupid ass goddamn arguments about the criminals are killing people. No, these are legally law-abiding citizens that is following the law in this country and murdering people at whim. I didn't see you there, Howard. But hold on for a second. I'll open your line in a second. Okay, so I got a couple more topics I want to touch on. Let's do the 14th Amendment right quick. Guys, when I talked about the 14th Amendment the other week, I told you guys that at some point in time in the country, the country was going to look at the 14th Amendment and try to apply it to January the 6th because these people are trying to run for office and they supported the insurrection. So what do we have? So now we have Colorado. There it is on the screen. This is what I told y'all about 2 weeks ago. They're going to read the goddamn 14th Amendment and they're going to see that Donald Trump is disqualified from joining the goddamn military, from running for president, from running for office. So let's see. Now, it hasn't passed. It hasn't went to the Supreme Court yet, but somebody else is interpreting the 14th Amendment the way it's supposed to be fucking read. So the 14th Amendment applies to presidents. Experts argue at the Trump's Colorado disqualification trial. So this Colorado state is trying to take Trump off the presidential fucking goddamn competition in that state because he supported, aided and abetted a fucking insurrection. So let's go through this right quick. The 14th Amendment clause that attorney argue should disqualify former President Trump from Colorado's 2024 ballot can apply to presidents, an expert witness testified on Wednesday, go directly against Trump's campaign argument. The attorneys called the 14th Amendment expert in the hearing's third day. Indiana University law professor Gerald Maglica to lay out exactly why and how to define insurrection and how it should apply to presidents. So let's go back over here to the 14th Amendment. And this is what Sarge was saying, right? Section 3. No person shall be a senator, representative in Congress, or elector of president or vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as a member of the executive or judicial office of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in an insurrection or rebellion against the same or have given aid and comfort to his enemies thereof. Okay, so right there, what I want to point y'all attention to, I know that was a lot of words. Sarge will look at this first comma and say President Trump don't fall up under there, right? Which he don't, because he wasn't a senator or a representative in Congress. Then you go to the next comma and say the elector of the president or the vice president, because he don't fall up under that. Right here is what I highlighted, or hold any office. Right there. The president of the United States is a fucking office. Then it says civil or military. Now you can debate that because the commander in chief, you could say that's a military office, or you could say, well, he ain't got nothing to do with the military. And if you say that, then you got to say it's a civil fucking office. But we know he's the commander in chief, right? Under the United States. The United States, this ain't got shit to do with states. Where this comma stops at. Under the United States. That's it. But we can go on further and giving aid or comfort. Now, whenever you look at what President Trump did on that day, did he participate? Did he march? No, he didn't march. He didn't participate when it came to the Capitol, but he did give a rally, right? He did encourage them. He did, after it was all said and done, say the words, I love you. This is the aid and comfort to the fucking insurrectionists. And then after the January the 6th, he said that he was going to pardon them. Right? He said that they're wrongfully being accused of crimes. Giving aid and comfort to the goddamn enemies. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I don't know why they don't want to apply the 14th Amendment to Donald Trump, but he definitely qualifies to be disqualified from running for president under the 14th Amendment. And I'm just reading, and it's basically making the argument that I'm making. Right here, here's the argument right here. That the argument hinges on the definition of office when used in the text. I just said that, right? Okay, and then it says the third section of the amendment specifically names senators and representatives beholden to that section, but also any office, civil or military, under the United States. That's the argument that I was making to this idiot last week when he came on here and said, President Trump is not an elector. He's not a senator. I didn't say he was. But that paragraph kind of encompasses every goddamn body that works for the goddamn government that has taken an oath. That's what that paragraph does. Okay, so that's the 14th Amendment. So I'm going to I touched on gun control, cheesecake. Let me touch on Gaza right quick. Guys, listen. What's going on in the United States is terrible when it comes to this war in Israel. It is unfortunate that the Hamas have killed some Israelis, right? I don't want to see anybody in Israel get hurt by terrorists. And I'm calling the Hamas terrorists, right? Because, you know, they have been characterized such. I don't know nothing about Hamas, so I'm just going to call them terrorists. But what is so terrible about this conversation in Israel is that we're taking the Palestinian people that are getting murdered by the hundreds every day by Israel, and we're not even having a conversation about those folks. Now, I don't know the Palestinian people, and I probably disagree with the way the average Palestinian thinks, because, you know, that's seems like it's a highly religious people, but I don't want to see dead humans being killed for no damn reason, especially by a military power and military might that outweighs these people by far. They're using tanks and airplanes and all of this kind of shit to shoot fucking people who can't fight back. And we hear about all the missiles that Hamas has and all of the underground things that Hamas. Okay, that's Hamas. Go find Hamas. Stop killing fucking children in Gaza. Why can't we? That's what we did in Desert Storm. Even though Desert Storm, I ain't gonna say Desert Storm. I'm gonna say when they went to Afghanistan. Desert Storm was something different. They went door to door in Afghanistan, kicking down doors and trying to find the bad people. And some civilians got killed in Afghanistan. But the effort was made not to have collateral damage by the United States of America. You know, I don't agree with our occupation or us being present in those countries over there, but at least I know that soldiers did go door to door and try to find the bad guys. That is not what Israel is doing. That is not what Israel is doing at all. And, you know, even if you say what I'm saying right now, you're considered to be anti-Semitic. And it's not about being anti-Semitic, because those Jews over there in Israel, they are fucking. Let me shut the fuck up. Those Jews in Israel aren't right. They're not right. And for us to be walking on eggshells whenever it comes to calling those people out is bullshit. I watched Morning Joe again this morning talking about how Jewish kids on college campuses are getting harassed and talked about and all this kind of stuff. But I never seen them pay that much attention to anybody else, especially black people. Black people in this country have been getting harassed on college campuses for years, getting nooses hung, getting the N-word wrote on their lockers, getting just for years. But these people all of a sudden want the whole world to stop because Jewish people are going through something similar when it comes to people calling those Jewish people out. So that's all I had to say. I think I touched on everything. So I'm going to shut up. And if you guys want to call in, you can. And I'll open your mic and let you on the show. The number to call is 717-908-1834. And I'll get you on the show. What's up, Howard? Was that Howard? Are you there? That motherfucker must have just pushed one. All right, well, if y'all want to call in, you can. And I guess I'm gonna close your damn line back. Let me see if somebody else can hear me. Uh-oh, hold on. Who is this? Hello?
What's going on,
Who is this?
Big Will?
Hey, what's up, Big Will? What's going on, man? Yeah, I thought my line was going crazy because Howard, dumbass, didn't say nothing. What's happening, man?
I can't call this shit. I can't call this. Yo, the New York shooting, I think it was in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get to read the whole situation. As a matter of fact, I didn't read it at all. But I think I seen something saying that dude was shot and killed. They don't know who did it, but yeah, I think he's no longer here with us, yo.
No, it's on video. They know who did it. The guy's name is Jason Pass. He's just on the run
Yeah,
right
I think
now.
he's dead.
Oh, the dude, he dead?
I think so. I didn't get to read it, and I got some other stuff going on. But, yeah, but he's dead too. Don't quote me on that. I'm just saying. I think, like I said, there's a lot of clickbait going on social media, but I think he's somebody he got 187.
Yeah, what I got right now is that he's on the run. I'm still looking. Now, how did they say how he died, or would he have killed himself?
No, somebody, maybe somebody that knew his family or one of his friends or something. I don't know. Like I said, I just strolling through my news feed or something. It said the dude was killed.
Oh no, I'm reading something now. Hold on, let me pull this over. Maybe this is what you're talking about. And this is coming from the Letitia James Attorney General Office. It says on the morning of November the 1st, the NYPD officer engaged in an active criminal investigation allegedly encountered Mr. Pass, who was sitting in a car that was pulled over next to the sidewalk on Bay 44th Street in Brooklyn. After a brief exchange, Mr. Pass allegedly left the car and ran away. The officers followed, and when they caught up with Mr. Pass, they spoke with him about an half an hour in an attempt to de-escalate the situation. Mr. Pass then allegedly charged at the officers with a knife, and they fired in response. Mr. Pass was taken to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. The NYPD recovered a knife at the scene. So yeah, I guess you're right. This shit must have just happened, man. So I guess you're right. That's what it seemed like. And this coming from Letitia James' office in New York, guys. So I guess he ain't on the run no more. But that was a sad situation. Did you see the video, Big Will? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, who this?
Oh, man, I'm going to straighten your ass out because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Swear to God you don't.
Okay. All right,
let's start with the last thing you said that was erroneous, or rather misleading.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Let me start erroneous.
Let me see who this line is. All right, who's this caller here?
What's going on?
What's up, Jay? All right, so go ahead, Sarge. What you got, man?
All right, the last thing you said was, I'm not going to say it was a lie, because it wasn't. It was misleading. You got to understand that the Israeli Knesset declared war on Hamas. They formally declared war by act of the legislature. Now, what does this signify? When a country declares war, that means it's putting itself on a war footing and is announcing itself to the world that it is now governing its actions in accordance with the international rules, international laws on the conduct of warfare. That those rules say this, Tyrone, that civilian populations are not immune from the effects of military operations when the enemy co-locates and insinuates himself with the civilian population. Now, they are obligated to make all efforts to avoid civilian casualties whenever possible, but the laws of war specifically say if they must, then they can cause civilian casualties in order to eliminate the enemy. And remember, Hamas has stated publicly that part of their tactics in their asymmetrical warfare, because after all, they fear the firepower of the Israelis, is to co-locate themselves with the civilian population. Specifically, they put their headquarters under a hospital building. That is also a violation of the laws of warfare to do that. Do you realize that even the Nazis in Normandy, when they would capture American medics, and the American medics agreed to help take care of all wounded Americans and soldiers, that both the German medics and the American medics required all the soldiers coming in there to leave their weapons outside of the medical tent when they got treated. And then the soldiers would pick up their weapons and go back out and start fighting each other again. And they would not, and the medics, both the American medics and the German medics, would not allow the enemy to set up artillery observation posts in the church where they set up the aid station, because that would make the hospital a legitimate target. See, that's when people abide by the laws of warfare. You don't understand what they are. Maybe you fell asleep in that class in the Army, but I didn't.
Okay, hold on. Let me check this line. Who's this caller? Whose line did I just open?
Yo, Big OC, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Big OC? Now, Sarge, hey, there was another.
No, wait a minute. Do you disagree with anything I just said? I just want to know.
Well, hold on. There was another caller that called in, and yeah, I disagree with what you said. Here you go. Hold on for a second.
Okay, why? Tell me why.
Hold on.
What was wrong with my summation of the international laws of warfare according to the 4th Geneva Convention? Right. What did I say that was not correct?
Let me see who this line is. Who's on this line?
Yo, Big Will, my bad.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
You tell me what I said that wasn't correct. Just tell me because you always tell me I lied about the 14th Amendment, so now tell me what I lied about the 4th Geneva Conventions on warfare. What did I just say that wasn't true?
Okay, so please calm down. The first question that you asked me was I disagree with what you said, and I said yes, I disagree.
Yeah, okay, you said you disagree.
Okay.
And now I want you to tell me what you disagree with.
I will tell you what I disagree with. If you and I know that the Hamas is based up under the hospital, I don't think that you should blow the whole fucking hospital up. I think that you should go under the hospital and get Hamas. Because whenever you blow the whole fucking hospital up, you are purposely killing goddamn civilians. So that's what I disagree with.
Tyrone, I didn't say they had to blow it up. You don't listen very well. I said they may, if there is no other practicable way to eliminate the enemy.
So in this situation, it ain't that they may, they did. They killed civilians.
All right, well, hey, they didn't violate any laws on warfare. Just don't say, look, you can condemn them for it, be my guest. But don't say they violated some laws of warfare. Because they didn't.
You're saying that. Yeah, go ahead, man.
So back in the late 80s, right, when Bush Sr. was in office, they had Saddam in the fucking, in the eyesight, right? I mean, U.S. had him. They could have easily killed him. Why didn't we do that, Tyrone? Why didn't the U.S. pilot just kill Saddam?
Right.
Because
that's what I'm saying. Is that there's a way to do things, man. And
I didn't say.
Go ahead.
I didn't say they shouldn't try. They should try to avoid civilian casualties whenever they can.
So
I am saying that sometimes when you're under immediate fire, you got your men lying out in the open. The guys using the church as an observation post to direct artillery fire on you. You blow that son bitch up right away, even if it means you kill civilians, because you don't want your men to get killed and you don't want to fail in the mission.
You killing more people. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You heard what I said, and I stand by it.
Okay, so before we get into that, we're gonna let Jay speak, and then we're gonna go to Big OC. So go ahead, Jay.
So I think it's contradictory, but I mean.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? You're not getting shot at.
Sarge, you just got up, all right? Wash your face and wash your fucking mouth with some soap, all right? Now, I mean, I could be wrong, but for what I see, opinion and emotions and everything, but I don't see that it makes sense if you're trying to get 1,000 people out of 2 million. You displace 2 million people, right? If they occupying 100 buildings, right, they're gonna blow up 1,000 buildings or the whole shit. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense human-wise, right? Because first and foremost is human lives that are innocent gonna get caught, right? The equation, when you calculate, it doesn't make sense. If it was the other way around and there was terrorists or so-called terrorists in Israel, right, and they had to go into Israel, you think they're going to let that happen and let the Israelis get killed like that? No, they're not going to do that. They're going to think twice about that shit. So I'm just saying that the way this is, Sarge, I don't know how many push-ups you're doing. You're going to need a lot more push-ups with all the shit that's going on in the earth right now. I'll leave it there.
All right, so Big OC.
What the hell does that got to do with the price of tea in China?
So let's get Big OC, and then we'll get Miss Elisa. Go ahead, Big OC. Big OC.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. Oh man, my whole thing is as we get into using all these terms, all these Geneva Conventions and UN and war footing and this, that, and the third. What color is Hamas's uniform? Do you know, Tyrone?
I don't know.
They army. They army uniform colors. Do you know, Sarge?
Yeah, I know.
What color are they?
All right, here's what it varies depending upon the particular Hamas cell you're talking about. They could be wearing all black with a form of green and white is a Muslim headband or armband to distinguish themselves as combatants, which, by the way, under the laws of international warfare, in order to be not considered a terrorist, you've got to wear some kind of uniform, carry your arms openly, and be answerable to a recognizable chain of command. So many of the guerrillas wear either a handband or an armband or some sort of uniform that distinguishes themselves as combatants. Not all of them do, though, and they can be considered terrorists.
Okay, now, are those individuals walking amongst the regular Palestinian civilians?
You got a mix of both, and it wouldn't matter if they were actual army soldiers of a nation state. If they insinuate themselves amongst the civilian population, they are legitimate targets no matter where they're located.
Now, what's the likelihood that these individuals are walking amongst civilians?
Very high. They've said that's the way they roll. They want to see the world. Look, I've seen their leaders say it.
So what you're telling me is they have a death wish then. They're trying to die.
Yeah, among other things, they don't want to see their people die, so they have a greater outcry of the world against Israel. They said so. You better pay attention. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put a link in the chat room. I'm going to put a link in the chat room to their public statements. Leaders of Hamas cells and what they said. They said they understand that they want some of their people to be martyrs in their great cause.
Okay, I understand what those people said, but when the rubber hits the road, you believe the individual is out there that they signed up for a death wish?
Yes, just like the Japanese kamikazes. Yes.
Then how come it's not over then? This should be over.
Because they're fanatics. They're dug in. They're in tunnels underground. They've got a lot of rubble to hide in now. Rubble makes excellent defensive. Oh, will you shut up and let me finish? Because you know what? Rubble makes excellent defensive fortifications. That's why they're doing it.
How do you know about these tunnels under the ground?
Because I do some studying. Maybe you ought to.
Okay. Do you think Israel knows about these tunnels under the
ground? Yes! They've been known about it for years. They've been talking, they've been practicing for exactly this eventuality for at least 13 to 14 to 15 years. They have been practicing for exactly this because they've known for a long time that a lot of this humanitarian aid money has been used by Hamas and Hezbollah to build underground fortifications. And they've been studying for years how to fight them when and if it happens.
So what you're telling me is the way the IDF sometimes and the settlers brazenly treat the Palestinians like shit, kill them, do whatever the fuck they want to them, they let this terrorist group just continue to collect money and build these fucking tunnels for years in anticipation.
Yes, that's what they did in the hopes. Yes.
So they can come.
Yes. Yes, that's what they did. That's what they did. In the wait, no, you sound ignorant. I'd rather be stupid than ignorant like you. You're willfully ignorant. You're willfully ignorant. You don't know what you're talking about, and you don't care to know.
We done took off, and we at 100 right now. We need to calm down for one second.
Wait a minute. Well, you better talk to this fool.
Okay, hold on.
Because he started it.
Hold on. Guys. Okay, y'all go.
I'm answering the dummies' questions legitimately.
Yeah, y'all go to your neutral corners right quick, and I'm gonna get Elisa in a second.
Well, you better talk to him about that.
Okay, sorry.
Hey, I already stopped, Tyrone. I know how to stop.
Okay, so
you punk.
Okay, hold on, brother. And I'm gonna open Yahshua's line, but let me share this with y'all, guys. This is the United Nations website, okay? And I'm up under the war crimes section, right? And here it is right here. And Israel is violating plenty of these. War crimes is willful killing, torture or inhumane treatment, including biological experiment, willfully causing great suffering or serious bodily injury or health, right? Extensive destruction or an appropriation of property not justified by military necessity and carried out unlawfully and wantonly, right? Compelling a prisoner of war or others protected persons to serve in the forces of hostile power. Well, I'm going to skip these. Hold on. I'm going to go down here to this. Other serious violations of the law and customs and applicable in the international armed conflict within the established framework of international law, namely, and any of the following acts: intentionally directing attacks against civilian populations, as such as against individual civilians, or not taking part in hostilities. Now, a hospital, you've got doctors and patients and people going for medical care, right? This falls directly in violation to what the UN says in this paragraph here, B2I, where they shot and bombed the goddamn hospital because Sarge said that there's tunnels under the hospital. We don't have no evidence of that. Sarge said that they blew up a goddamn hospital because there are tunnels up under the goddamn hospital. And he's saying that he got that from the Israel or somebody from Hamas called him on his cell phone and told him that dumb shit. Okay, so intentionally directing attacks against civilian objects, that is objects which are not military objectives. A hospital is not a military objective. But Sarge is saying because he pretending that they tunnels up under there, it became a military objective. No, the UN got, and you can go on down to UN war crimes, and you can find where Israel is violating these war crimes over and over and over again. And, you know, but there's always this defense for what Israel is doing. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Go to the UN website.
All right. Yeah, right. You said something I didn't say. You said something that I did not say. I said that the Hamas located a headquarters in the hospital. I didn't say a goddamn thing about a tunnel.
Okay, so Miss Elisa, how you doing? Welcome.
I wish you'd listen once in a while.
You got any proof of that? Miss Elisa, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How you doing, Tyrone?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hi, guys. Yeah, Tyrone. The two videos that I sent you
Uh-huh.
in the inbox, just watch the second one, and it shows the outtakes when somebody got a lot of noise in the background.
That's Big Will. Mute your line, Big Will.
Oh, the video that you show, it shows the outtakes when they were practicing, the recording and making of the video. It shows the different outtakes when that skit was being made, and where people got the videos from the outtakes, because they said it was a whole production. The guy who you were talking about that interviewed the people, he was part of that, and they found the outtakes and stuff on his Facebook. And the young lady, the actress, the one who played the role, I think she is trying to start a podcast or some type of foolishness. That's what that was. But yeah,
Okay. I'll look at them. I just got your links there. But I would just even if it was made up, I was just giving a scenario based on what they portrayed.
Yeah. And the only reason I pointed out that it was a skit and that they was all in on it is because, like you were saying about all of these YouTube channels with all of that stuff on there, a lot of times you have black women that help them out with this foolishness. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just the men. You have women that actually participate in this kind of stuff. That was the only reason I brought it up. As far as I'm concerned, she's participating in this stuff. So that was the only reason I brought it up. But y'all, they could go back to arguing about Hamas and all of that. I have some more to say, but I'll wait. Let somebody else go.
All right. Mr. Joshua, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight, sir?
All right. No, I just wanted to, for me, I take this as a holistic. I'm looking at this from a holistic perspective approach. Okay. As a quote African in America, my position on this is neutral. I think that as black people, we should not be pro-Israel, period. Okay? And when I say that, even in being neutral, we should be pro-Israel, period. Pro-Israel don't like black people. Israel don't like black people. So while we cheerleading and making excuses for them to commit murder and genocide, so people who really that can't really fight them back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've never seen and listened to Sarge. He got so much passion for Israel. It just behooves me. And all the bullshit that black folks go through in America, we shouldn't have a position on this shit at all. We got too much shit ourselves on our plate to be worrying about being pro-Israel when these motherfuckers here in America, they trying to in fact displace us off the goddamn map if they could. No one talks about quote monies that are being sent to this bullshit. I don't want my tax-paying money going to being associated with killing people, human beings. I don't want my money associated with that shit. And people always say, well, the money is aid for this. No. You don't say nothing when it comes to, like, say, for example, the minute black folks say reparations, no, we don't have that money for that. But you got money to go over there and kill people. You got money for Ukraine. All that shit over there, I'm starting to think, Tyrone, that shit in Ukraine is that shit's rigged. They should never told them people to fight Russia back. They can't win that. But they went on and tried to fight Russia back. Now, look at their country. You see, so man, we shouldn't be even thinking about as far as being pro-Israel and making excuses while you go over there and bomb hospitals. But the drone goes underneath the ground. Who gives a shit? I don't care. It's no problem. So you know, it's just weird, man, that we take this approach as black people that we want to have sides and we pro this and pro Israel and all that, and it's mainly the fact that we're pro Israel, which bothers me. I'm like, why are you so pro Israel for? Why do you make excuses for them to do what they do? That's crazy. That's insane. That's all I got to say, Tyrone.
All right. I appreciate it. But the Hebrew Israelites, you know, they I guess they kind of support Israel's perspective, because they're go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, man. And that's a good point you made.
Yeah, and they beat them up too. The Palestinians beat them up.
And I don't know where they what their position is. I really don't know what the big story with that was. I'm just hearing that they had some issues with each other again.
They beat them.
I don't give a shit whether you're Israel or you're a black Hebrew or not. You shouldn't have a position, because I guarantee you, those ones who live in Israel don't have a position on this at all.
Yeah, where are they in government, Sarge? Where's the black Israelite? Where's the black Israelite in the Israeli government?
Hey, I'll answer that if you be quiet. Tyrone, you mind if I respond to this, please?
Go ahead, man.
All right, let me tell you something. First of all,
let Joshua finish. Then you can go.
And as far as beating them up, I don't know anything about someone getting beat up, all that dumb stuff. I don't pay that shit no mind. But my point is that these Hebrews, the so-called black Hebrews here in America that are apparently having these issues with the Palestinians, I think that whoever quote telling them to do this, they're misleading. Because if you're a black Hebrew, you should not be having no position on none of this shit at all. None at all. It's not about you. This is not about you. I mean, if you want to go biblically on this, you're incorrect, because it has nothing to do with you. You see, because it says that what? It says what? Biblically, he says he's going to destroy those imposters who are there anyway. He's going to destroy them. If that's your thing, if that's your belief system. So you shouldn't even have a position on the Palestinians. You should be opposing them, talking to them, or nothing like that. Nothing at all. Be quiet and sit back and watch. That's what I got to say, man.
All right, Sarge, go ahead.
Okay, here's the thing here. First of all, get one thing straight. I am a natural-born citizen of the United States of America. My first and foremost loyalty is not to Israel, not to Palestine, not to the European Union, not to anywhere else in the goddamn world but the United States. I am a natural-born citizen of the United States. That is my first and foremost loyalty and concern. What is in the best interest of this nation and its people? And if that conflicts with those of Israel, then Israel can go piss up a rope. I don't care about Israel when it comes down to what is best for our country. If our legitimate national security interests align with that of Israel, then yes, since we are allied with them by treaty, I say yes, let's go along with Israel. But that's going to be the determining factor for me. What I resent is people who distort fact, history, and law, particularly international law, and that's what's being done here. That's what I am trying to speak against, and I will have any opinion on anything of any consequence, any in the world, if I feel like it, because that is my birthright as a citizen with the First Amendment. And I intend to speak on this when and wherever I can. So finally, when it comes to wait, one more thing. I'm almost finished. Wait, motherfucker! Did you hear how long the last guy was on here for?
Come on, man.
Did you hear, motherfucker?
Let him finish.
Now, God, mute that son of a bitch.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Are you gonna let me finish, Tyrone? I'm gonna hang the fuck up.
Okay, stop.
Get sick of this fool.
Because you know I don't care, but you.
One more time. One more thing. I'm timing myself. I was 45 seconds. You cocksucking bastard. Okay. Shut the fuck up.
Calm down.
All right, well, listen. One more thing. Listen up. Operation Solomon was the Israeli military operation in 1991. They airlifted Ethiopian Jews, 14,325 of them, to Israel. Why did they take them there? Because the Ethiopian government of Mengistu Ali Mariam was abusing them and murdering them. And they wanted to claim citizenship to Israel. So Israel spent millions of dollars to take those people out of their hellhole and bring them to Israel. That population has gone from 14,325,000 to now 165,000 Ethiopian Jews that now live in Israel that were brought there from Ethiopia by the Israelis. So stop it. And the Palestinians beat up the black Israelites. I got the videos. I'll post them in the chat room. They were hitting them with flags, and they were attacking them for what they were saying. I saw it with my own eyes, and I'll let you say it too.
Okay, sorry, let me ask you this. Are you saying only the Palestinians was beating up the black Hebrew Israelites?
Okay, one more time. Yes, they were carrying Palestinian flags. They were dressed in Caiaphas, and they were beating on them. With the flag poles.
Are the Jewish people over there beating up the black Israelites?
Probably. They're kind of obstreperous.
So why didn't you include that in your little narrative there?
Because that wasn't a fucking issue. I answered your question.
But you just used...
Yahshua said I shouldn't have a position on this because we should just be neutral and keep our mouths shut. Well, that ain't me. That ain't Sarge. Okay. I'll talk about any goddamn thing I want to. But look here. I'm saying, since I did see what I saw, I know better.
Okay, so...
The Palestinians don't like black people particularly very much.
Okay.
Any much more than they like Jews.
Okay, the Israels don't like black people either.
Well, look, I tell you what, did the Palestinians airlift 14,000 of them out of a hellhole in Ethiopia to Israel, where most of them live well? They have the same rights as any other Israeli citizens. They are in the Knesset. They are in the Israeli armed forces. They have jobs in the civil service. Do any Palestinian do that? No. Not one single Jew of any ethnic background lives in Palestine. Not one.
Okay, so hold on.
It's
Listen, you're only saying one side of the story when you're talking about black.
You're damn right I am. You are too. You're doing the same thing.
Why do you do that when I talk, brother?
Because you act like you're totally unself-aware. That's why. You're the same thing. You're not even aware of the very things that you say.
I cannot get a complete thought out before you're screaming in my ears. Well, I don't know why you do that.
You got no sense of self-awareness.
Like a machine
You're still
gun.
doing it, motherfucker. Goddamn.
Jesus, you ain't got no self-awareness whatsoever.
Can you shut the fuck up? Now, what I'm trying to tell y'all is that I don't know. Sar said that he's seen Palestinians beating up black people, but I'm telling y'all.
I'll put it in the chat room. I'll put a link to it in the chat room. Okay, make up your own mind.
You don't have to announce that. Let me finish with what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that the Jewish people over there in Israel are also doing the same thing to black people, not allowing them to have rights and cutting them off from benefits and all that kind of bullshit. So Sarge said Palestinians. So
the same thing about black people here. They say the same thing about black people in the United States. That's what you guys say about black people in the United States. We ain't got no rights. That ain't true either.
Sarge, what's wrong with you, Sarge? Why are you going on?
You people are always saying we got no rights here in the United States.
Sarge, you never answered the question about the government. Why there's no black Israelites in the government in Israel? Why?
They're in the Knesset. They are in the Knesset. Because they can't get people to vote for them. Ask them. You ask people why they don't vote for them then.
Oh, who's not voting for them?
You got a right. Look, you got a right not to vote for anybody you don't want to vote for, or vote for whoever you want to. It's your business.
For color? Because of color? Because of color?
Maybe. I don't know. But you know what? Rather than worry about...
you don't know?
Because no, you're the one making the claim. You're the one that has to prove it.
Is that discrimination?
No, sir. So you're making the claim, not me. You should be able to prove it.
I'm asking you, is that discrimination?
It is not discrimination to not vote for somebody. That ain't discrimination.
No. Is it not discrimination when you do not vote for a person because of their color?
It could be considered that, but that's your business. You didn't have to tell anybody why you didn't vote for somebody.
Hold on. So listen, real quick. So you have black Israelites in Israel, right? And you said that they ain't getting people to vote for them.
They're demanding to be elected to office?
Well, hold on. They don't have
This is a new right? Wait a minute. What kind of right is that? When do you have a right to be elected to office?
Wait a second. Hold on. You have predominantly, we're going to agree that Israel is predominantly white Jewish people, right? And then you have the black Hebrew Israelites. There's a percentage of them.
20% of it is Arab.
Hold on. So just like
seriously, you got to let me speak.
20% of them are Arab.
Sarge, listen to me. Listen and stop yelling. In the United States, right, is the same case. Is predominantly white, different, nationality backgrounds, but there's more white people than people, black people or any, right? And now it's becoming Latino. But my question to you is this: why is it that the white Israelis are not voting these black Hebrew Israelites in? What's the problem?
Okay. You're going to have to ask them. I cannot answer. No one has a right to be elected to public office. No one. So ask them. Maybe they don't like the platform. I don't know.
It's about representation.
You're the one claiming to know.
Right,
it's about representation. No,
I'm asking you.
Wait a minute. I just got through saying there are Ethiopian Israeli citizens in the legislature, the Knesset. They are representing their districts in the Israeli legislature.
Power, position of power.
Again, no one has a right to be elected.
Sarge, you're making an argument that nobody ain't put forth. Nobody said it.
Damn, he just did it.
Sarge, can you please? Let me say this to Sarge. Sarge, you're on mute for 1 second. Please calm down. You will get an opportunity to speak, but stop screaming over people, please. And what I was going to say is it's about representation. If you're only represented by one race of people, it's going to be leniency towards the people that represent you, and there's no representation, is what Jay is saying. Elisa, you go ahead and Sarge, stop screaming over.
Wait a minute, how do you counsel?
Can you please?
Wait a minute, wait a minute, are you saying the prime minister is intended to be a representative
of
a particular group of people, or is it the prime minister of the entire country?
Let me tell you what I'm saying. Let me tell you what I'm saying. I'm saying let Elisa talk. Now shut the fuck up.
Okay, you couldn't answer it. I knew you couldn't.
Tyrone, just real quick, let me read this from the Blaze. There's quite a few websites did articles. Thousands gathered for a pro-Palestine protest in Chicago on Saturday. However, a bizarre brouhaha erupted between black Hebrew Israelites and Palestinian supporters. An estimated crowd of 5,000 pro-Palestine demonstrators.
Come on, Sarge, don't do that. Go ahead,
An estimated crowd of 5,000 pro-Palestine demonstrators marched in Chicago's Loop on Saturday afternoon, demanding a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war, that Palestine be free. The march supported Gaza was reportedly organized by Chicago Coalition for Justice, organization that mobilized those who seek justice and protest of Israel's violence against innocent civilians. During the march, a group of black Hebrew Israelites, pro-Palestinian protesters, physically clashed with each other. A visual journalist with the Chicago Sun-Times said the chaotic scene, all hell broke loose between some of the Palestinian protesters and black Israelites. Police and organizers did their best to calm things down to varying degrees of success. La Riviera said that the two groups hurled 6 bottles at each other. What is that noise?
Hey, Sarge, that's your line, man. Mute yourself right quick.
That's Sarge trying to do push-ups with his fucking flat chest.
Go ahead.
Flat chest. Flat chest. Man, make up anything.
Hold on, Sarge. Come on, man.
He added that one black Hebrew Israelite was injured and taken away in an ambulance. The investigative journalist Angela Van de Plurim posted the video on Twitter, on X, formerly known as Twitter, social media platform with the caption, Black Israelite Hebrew fight pro-Hamas protesters in Chicago. FYI, Black Hebrew Israelites believe they are the real Jews, and the Jews like me are fake Khazarians, but did not have this on my 23 bingo cards. More than 7,000 pro-Palestine supporters demonstrated in New York. But anyway, what it was, you know, like we've been seeing these protests all over the world. People, yeah, there you put one up, calling for a ceasefire because of the slaughtering of those innocent people. So the people who were out there for the pro-Palestine, ceasefire, they weren't all Palestinians. You had Palestinians, you had whites, you had blacks, you had Jews, you had some of everybody was out there. And the Hebrew Israelites boistered their way up in there, and a big old hoo-ha-ha and brawl started. So, I don't know, it just looked absolutely ridiculous to me. And the Hebrew Israelites started that mess out there. Yeah, and some of them got wore out. They did. Some of them got wore out.
Yeah, well, I put a link to it. I put a link to it in the chat room. You can look at it and make up your own mind. I'm not going to tell you what to think about it. There's a link to it. I put it in the chat room. Go look at it for yourself.
So it's just absolutely ridiculous that they're out there with that. And I saw so many people saying, you know, who's unfamiliar with them, the Black Hebrew Israelites. I don't know. I'm with who was just speaking, Yeshua, that Black people, for those who are unaware of a lot of what's going on, some of the history and stuff, just stay out of this. Just stay out of this. Remain neutral. I mean, but the Black Hebrew, I'm sorry, I don't get embarrassed by things that Black people do. Not anymore.
Right.
I used to.
Right.
But I have since outgrown that. But I was a little embarrassed by this. A little embarrassed by it. They're out there fighting and brawling with these people who's out here protesting for a ceasefire. But as far as Black people can do whatever, they can pull down their clothes and stand on the White House lawn and do whatever. I don't get embarrassed anymore. But because that's them, it's not me. But it was a bad look. Bad look.
Yeah, I don't get involved in the politics of it either. I just speak from perspective of how humans are getting, blown up to pieces and all that kind of stuff. And I think humanity should treat each other a little bit better than killing each other with bombs and stuff,
Yeah. Do you know how many rocket attacks have gone on in Israel in the last 3 years alone? You know how many documented rocket attacks from the Golan Heights, from the West Bank, and from Gaza have happened to Israel in the last 3 years? Thousands. They have hurled thousands of missiles and rockets into Israel. And Israel has not retaliated like this yet.
Yes, they have. But you know what? The last time I was trying to keep up with, just to watch different, you cannot watch national news because you're not going to get, but just to watch news from other places to kind of get a sense of what's going on. And the casualties, the Palestinian citizens. And I think the other day, I was involved in some other things that I wasn't doing a lot online. But I know they were talking about, it was like close to 8,000 Palestinians were killed. And I think they were they were able to kill 15 Hamas.
Okay.
So they were at 7,500. Allow me to finish. 15. They might have gotten another one. I know when the refugee camp that was filled with women and children and people, a refugee camp, I was listening to an interview that Wolf Blitzer was doing with one of the commanders for the IDF. And he asked him, so you all knowingly knew this was a refugee camp filled with women and children and babies and some of everybody, and you knowingly bombed it. And they said because they had intel that there was one Hamas leader hiding in the midst or underground or whatever. And he said, so y'all normally blasted that thing and killed all these women and children? And he was like, yes, you know how they just oh hoo ha ha. And Wolf Blitzer, who is is an absolute ally to his people over there. And he was saying, you knowingly knew this and you all did this? And he said, yes. And he said, well, did you kill him? Did you at least kill the Hamas one of them? Did you at least kill him? At first, the IDF commander said, well, we haven't, that has to be verified. Oh, yes. We killed him. We killed him. And the look he gave him, okay, well, I hope you killed him. I hope you killed that one.
Well, part of that, half of that 8,000, Elisa, was considered to be children. About 3,000 and something was considered to be children.
It's children. Half of them is children. Another large portion is women, and then you have some men in that. So I know people say war is casualties of war. I think everybody who has some discernment can understand the fact you're going to have casualties of war. That is the horror of war. But 7,500, 8,000 people, and I think they might have killed 15 Hamas. Let's hope there's some more Hamas sprinkles up in that. Let's hope there's some more sprinkled throughout that 7,500 Palestinians. Let's hope, which almost half are children and babies and women, so we can sit and talk war, but I mean, come on, people. And I get that, say that we should not take a side in this. I get that. We should not take a side. We should stay neutral. But when we have stuff that's going on within our community, our numbers are small, and we need allies for different things. Who is doing that? And we need allies here in this country. We have allies here in this country. We need allies. And to just say to be neutral, don't take a stand. I get it. Some people should stay neutral. But we can have an opinion, and we should speak out on some things when we see things like this going on, because God knows our numbers are small here in this country. And for us to just be quiet. I don't think that that's for those who are able to speak on it. Just speak on it, because we definitely need allies for things that we are trying to do, because we don't have the numbers. We just don't. We don't have the numbers here in this country. So just being quiet, I mean, you don't have to pick a side, but at least be on the side of peace, be on the side of non-genocide, be on the side against slaughtering women and children. We can do that. We should be able to do that, because we would want people to be on our side if that was happening to us. We can at least do that. We can do that. I think we can.
Hey, Tyrone.
Yes.
Yes, I just wanted to say that, and I said it before. I said this on another show that some people need to read the history of Hamas and how they got started, and they will understand before they became labeled as a terrorist organization, they were a political organization who was anti-supremacy of Israel, meaning that their ideal was this. They were saying, look, we want this, and we have a right to have this. Our ancestors were here in Israel as well. Okay, so that was their position. Okay, they've always been religiously, they've always been Muslim. They always been Muslim. They always had that. So that's nothing new to them. So the orders of them and I think it was actually it was started in 1976, but they began to cement their legacy, I think, in 87. That's when they really started to cement their legacy. And when I was reading that, I also was reading that even when they legally won some elections in Israel, guess what they did to them? they wouldn't get those guys the seats. And so this is why I was telling people, Arafat was so frustrated at the time, and I think that's what helped kill him. The fact that he kept dealing with people who kept hitting him. And once they did something right, Israel will come back and say, "Well, no, we're gonna do this now." And like, wait a minute, you just said what it is. What's the problem? So a lot of that the systematic Zionist thought process policies produced the anger in this ideology of getting anti-violent with Israel. That was produced by Israel, which made Hamas become what they are today. Not the fact in their origin they started out like this, were attacking Israel. They was not about attacking Israel at first. They were about saying, look, give us this, and we'll go about our damn business. And every time Israel would do something, they would come back and take it back. You know what? You know, so what I'm saying, man, that there's a lot of trickery that Israel's been playing with those people, and I think that's part of the problem too. When I was in college, I was made aware, in a sense, I began to get taught of what was going on in Israel with the Palestinians, because there were a lot of Palestinian students in the college I went to, you know, and so when I talked to them because I was part of the Black Student Union, we would talk all the time. And they would give us what was going on in Israel from that perspective. Now, we got the Jewish perspective with the students too on college campus, but it was the Palestinian students who was more trying to connect with us and say, hey, this was going on in Israel right now with us, with our people. You see? So that was that, Tyrone. That's all I had to say about that.
Yeah, that's
Tyrone.
what I was trying to say, that the Palestinians are indigenous to that land, but the argument was that England didn't give them permission to be there. But if you look at that argument and you look at indigenous people all over the planet, the Native Americans here was given some land because they belong here. Right. Africans are indigenous to their land. Nobody's taking that land from them. They're still African. The Europeans, indigenous to Europe, you know, it's the same thing. But that's don't do that, Sarge. Don't do that, Sarge. That's
not me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. But the Jewish
so you blame me for when I do make noise, okay? Not when I don't.
Okay, but the Jewish state is the newest country on the map for a goddamn reason, and that's because it did not exist. It did not exist until the 1940s or so, or whatever. And that should tell you already that somebody else had already occupied that part of the planet. You know, even though it wasn't sanctioned by Europe, those people was already there. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, but Sarge takes his instructions by England. Listen, Sarge takes his instructions by England.
Jay, let me say this right quick. And Tyrone, and they didn't have to have Europe's permission to be there. They're not gonna have no Europe permission to be there. That's stupid.
Not according to Sarge. What I understand from Sarge.
Right. So I'm saying
you don't understand anything because you don't listen. You don't listen to me.
Sarge, whatever the white man says, you go by it. Stop it.
You don't listen to me. That's your problem. You need to take the wax out of your ears.
Okay. So this is why I say that in my writings, I wrote a paragraph called "On the Line of Whiteness." And I keep saying that to y'all. You know, I said on ABC, on the side of whiteness. When I say the only reason why they accept those Jews for being over there is because they're white. And that follows the ideal of white supremacy, to have the fact to say that there's a white chosen people that are white. Right. So that it follows the idea of superiority in white folks' mind, because they sure the hell don't support no black folks that are over there. There's a group over there called the Afro-Palestinian Front. You don't even hear about them. You don't even hear about these people over there. So
well, according to Sarge, I think that Sarge.
Oh, don't speak for me. Whatever you do, don't try to speak for me. You never get it right. You never get it right.
Sarge, this is when you say something. This is what I'm interpreting. So when what I hear is that the defense every time is, oh well, the U.S. this, or England said this, or Europe said this. So it's like you always say, okay, well the white man said it. They the ones that in charge. They're the ones that say what goes. Okay, I'm going by that. That's what I see. Whether it's in the U.S., whether it's in Europe, or whether it's in England, and another colonial country that white man is in. You say, well, you know, if they don't win by war, then hey, you know, it's okay. That's bullshit, Sarge. You know that.
No, it isn't, because as a matter of fact, there wouldn't be a United States if the United States hadn't won it by war. If you can't hold your country, you're going to lose it.
But
Tyrone, this about foreign Sarge is concerned.
Let Elisa go.
We had already hashed all this out, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
When we first started talking about this. And because Sarge, that you were saying that Palestine didn't exist. You were saying it didn't exist. It didn't exist. And I was saying, yeah, that's because until Britain said it existed, that's when you said it existed. So
it never existed in history, ever.
Hold on, sorry.
Ever.
Oh,
You
God.
see what I'm saying? We have already hashed this out 2 weeks ago. So if y'all going to hash this out again, have at it. But we've already been through this. It didn't exist to some until Britain said it exists. It never existed until Britain.
Oh, that's not what I said.
Right.
That's not what I said.
Hold on, Sarge. You got to stop that.
No, you didn't say that. You said it didn't exist. And I was the one that said, yeah, it didn't exist until Britain said it existed. That's what I said that. I didn't say you said that. I said that. But you did say
Britain never said it existed either. Well, Britain didn't say that either.
And speaking to what Joshua was saying, what Joshua was saying, there was agreements earlier on with Palestine and the Jews. But like Joshua was saying, the Jews keep breaking the agreements and taking more and more land.
They keep breaking the agreement.
Yeah, they keep taking more and more land.
Further in the West Bank. Every time there's an agreement, they push further and further into the West Bank. They just ignore it. And they keep pushing further and further.
And Donald Trump didn't help nobody by making Jerusalem the damn capital. That just fucked shit up right there.
Oh, they're not angry about that. That's not even a big deal. Not even with the Arabs.
No, they did get angry.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Sorry.
No, it isn't. Yeah, they might have been peeved about it, but it wasn't a deal breaker.
Oh, Jesus.
Man, you're making too much of it.
And Tyrone, let me say this too. I really don't care, and this is nothing personal against Sarge, but I really don't care what Sarge thinks, because if you look at the history of that part of the world, particularly Israel, you will understand that there were inhabitants of that land way before some Eastern Europeans jumped their asses over there. So I'm saying that there were people there, and those people did not need no agreement from the UN, from the United Nations to say, oh, whether you got a permission to be there or not.
Good point. Good point.
It goes. It all goes back to what I said before. They needed to align themselves with white people, other white folks, and they gave them that state. And they said, well, y'all going to be the Jews because y'all converted to it. There were white folks who converted to Judaism, and they said, we're going to make y'all the Jews. Them or the other people who are already there. Really?
Okay.
Already here. Matter of fact, those same Jews, Eastern European Jews, they even went into Uganda and claimed that as a homeland. So where the hell you come from? If God's going to make you his chosen people, he gives you that land, period. You don't got to be going all over the place looking for a homeland. God don't do that. That's a fact.
Okay. All right. Look.
So go ahead, let Sarge respond. Go ahead, Sarge.
All right. First of all, I keep hearing this refrain, this constant, never-ending refrain. They were not in that country. They came from somewhere else and they took it over. Let me explain something to you. In the 13th century, that long ago, Suleiman the Magnificent and the Ottoman Empire was established in Central Europe. Why do you think the Serbs and the Bosnian Muslims were fighting with the Christian and the Croatians in Serbia when we were at a bomb? Because Arabs and Turks conquered Central Europe and created an empire there. That's how Muslims and Arabs got there. So people get through conquest, they get there. That's why they speak. That's why Heinrich Himmler went to Yugoslavia and created an SS division of Muslims in Yugoslavia and Serbia. Because Muslims were there. Hey, let me finish. Muslims were there by conquest. They came out of Turkey and Arabia to conquer Central Europe. People moved into these areas. There were what was known as three aliyahs into the Middle East. In the mid part of the 19th century, in the late 19th century, and after World War II. That's the way these things work. And I'd like to submit something to you about the nation of Israel, which is rather unique among the formation of nations, among others. Unlike the Ottoman Empire, which got just about all of its territory through conquest, the state of Israel was founded by two international mandates. Number one, the League of Nations mandate after World War I, where 58 nations voted to assume a mandatory period to determine how the Palestinian region was going to be administered. And number two, an international vote of 158 nations of the world to create a two-state solution of Palestine and Israel. That is a matter of historical fact. That's not an opinion. So what I'm saying, I'm almost finished, goddammit. Wait. So, unlike most other countries that were founded through conquest, there was an international consensus that there ought to be a Palestinian state for Arabs and a state for Israelis. You know who rejected that? The Arabs did. They said Palestine is part of Syria and Lebanon, and that's all it will ever be, and we're going to push these Jews into the sea. That's what they said in 1948, 47, rather. They said it in 1948.
Okay, so I got another caller here, guys. So let me see who this is.
You guys better crack open a few history books.
Okay, sorry. Listen, let me check this caller out. Who's this caller right here?
Yes, Big Will.
Oh, what's up, Big Will? Go ahead, man.
So Sarge did tell the untruth about the capital of Jerusalem. The reason being that there is historical Islamic or Muslim territory or mosque there. So that's bullshit.
Right.
It came after the Christian temple. Islam didn't exist until the 8th century.
Okay, so
Islam didn't even exist until the 8th century.
Big Will, listen.
Christianity predated Islam by 700 years.
Okay, sorry. Can you please stop that? And that is a lie. What you just
I know.
said.
Facts don't matter. Again, Christianity predated Islam by over 700 years.
That's a lie. Listen. Big Will told the truth. That's what Big Will said about that mosque in Jerusalem or whatever. And they doing something to convert it or some bullshit, which is bullshit.
Right.
You know,
it's half and half.
Yeah.
He said.
Okay, can you nigga, you just talk for 30 damn minutes. Can you shut the fuck up?
Oh, you're a lying bastard. Stop lying like that.
Oh, God damn.
I usually don't talk as long as most people here. Will you take out a clock and time
What
us?
are you doing right now, sir? What is the action that you're taking right now?
I'm talking now because you're full of shit.
With your mouth moving and sounds coming out, what is that called, Sarge? That's called talking, nigga. So shut the fuck up.
Proceed. Stop coming up the works.
Okay, so you done made me forget what I was going to say about.
Yeah, because you're blockhead.
Something about the
Temple Mount. The Temple Mount.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Go ahead, somebody else, because Sarge ain't gonna let me talk.
Hey, Tyrone. You know what I wanted to say that again. We keep going back in circles with this thing, and you need to look at the thing. Look at this just what the hell it is. Zionism, this thing called Zionism, the Zionist movement, which is anti anything that's not Jewish. That's what Zionism is. It's anti anything that's not Jewish. That's what they're about. When I was in college, we got into it with some Jews one time. We got into it with some Jews one time. Are the same thing. But my point is that, again, we must understand that historically, in that part of the world, so we got to understand that these so-called Jews, when you say that to them constantly, they do not want to have a conversation with you. They don't want to have a conversation with you because they know that you know, and then they know that what they're doing is really is barbaric. You're killing people. You're murdering people. You're taking someone else's land that's not yours. You haven't been fair in this whole process. You haven't been fair. So this is the problem. This is the issue. And as far as I'm concerned, this is how I tend to look at it, and dealing with these people over there who really don't like black people. White folks are white folks in general. They don't like. They got the same attitude towards black people as a portion of white folks do. They have the same attitude. You see, and then some black person say something, then we're labeled as anti-Semitic. And then what the media does, because it's controlled by them, they bombard that in people's minds that you can't say these things because then you'll be anti-Semitic. When they say anti-black things all the time, they say anti-black shit every day. Every day is anti-black shit. Every day they say something anti-black. And no one says nothing. There's no outcry. There's no, whatever. They say anti-black things every day. And no one says nothing.
All right. Who is it? Unknown caller. Who's this that I just opened?
Peace, Tyrone.
What's happening, mama's boy?
What's going on, brother? Peace, family. Peace, everybody. Yeah. My comment is about that two-state solution. Yeah, I mean, it's already admitted by the so-called historian that happened in 1948. Well, here it is, 2023. So almost 80 years later, where's the two-state solution? That's probably the reason why you got so much drama over there, because if it was supposed to be a two-state solution almost 80 years ago and it hasn't happened, I'd imagine those people would get pretty fucking restless over there. Well, peace, family.
Well, I'll tell you why there's not a two-state solution, because the Arabs rejected it.
And you know what? And that goes back to what I said before about the origins of Hamas. There were two groups over there that represented the Palestinians. There was the first group called Fatah, if I'm saying that right, Fatah. They were the first group, actually. But they didn't like Fatah because Fatah was more like what? The Urban League. Like black folks are dealing with the shit over here with some of their organizations. They were more like the Urban League, whatever. They was kind of passive. They went along with Israel and all that dumb shit. Hamas comes along and said, that's bullshit, y'all. We can't just let them continue to push us back and back and back. And we're not going to have nowhere to live. So Hamas came on the scene. People were like, all power to Hamas. Yeah, we know. We understand that now. So Fatah got kind of not wiped out, but they kind of got neutralized. Then Hamas takes over, and then this one shit hit the fan. Then this one you have Yasser Arafat. Go back and read his story and read his position on the reason why things were going on. So now people are going back and saying, wait a minute, let's go back and we look at Arafat. Because now they see what Arafat was saying, like, Israel was bullshitting the whole time. They never intended to give them a separate state or make two states with them. They never intended to do that. They never intended to do that. And that's why Arafat had the issues that he had over there with, at that time, I think the president was, what was this guy's name? He was an older guy, I forgot his name. But that's why he had the issue with them over there at that time. You see, so it's good that to go back and look at the history of it, then you can see why they're still having these same issues. And like I said, if you believe in this biblically, the scripture says that it will be no peace over there because you got imposters over there. So it's not going to be no peace over there. So if that's the solution, I mean, if that's a conclusion to the argument, it's the fact that biblically, if you believe in that stuff, it says they would not have peace over there, period, because they're not in power. They said the people who should be there are not even there. They should at this point. So
Tyrone.
Yeah.
I think you was talking about Reagan, Joshua. I think you was talking about Reagan.
Well, listen, hold on. Here's the bottom line, and Joshua simplified this stuff, is that basically they're Muslim. They're Muslim, and they're a type of Muslim that the surrounding Muslims don't like them, to be honest with you. And they're Muslim, and the Jews don't like them because they're Muslim. The reason Sarge is against them and the reason United States is against the Palestinians is because they're Muslims. When you're talking about who's that, Arafat and whoever the fuck it was, those are really like traditional Muslims that, you know, they living in the damn ground and all that kind of bull. They were just traditional Muslims, and they embraced their religion heavily. Unlike the Saudis who moved into the, you know, present time and using you know, technological advances and all that kind of bullshit. These Palestinians didn't want to do all that. But go ahead.
And Tyrone, let me say this right quick, Tyrone. And keep in mind, Tyrone, that there are also Christian Palestinians too. The Palestinians that we dealt with in college, most of them were Christian. They said, no, we're Christian.
Okay, well, that don't make no sense there. That don't make no sense there now.
No, but I'm saying the idea that they're all Muslim was one thing. But when she said, no, I'm Christian, I'm thinking, well, how did you become Christian if traditionally you were Muslim? And she said all Palestinians wasn't, as she knew it, she told me, she said, no, we all were not Muslim, but some of us were Christian. I said, okay. I said, that's confusing.
And you got to also remember that the Palestinian people voted Hamas in because Hamas stood up to Israel. It had really nothing to do with it. Like the other faction never stood up to Israel, but Hamas had other plans. They stood up, and you got to remember that Hamas was doing a lot of humanitarian shit years before they got voted in. So they kind of like worked their way into the system because they was the only people, while Israel was fucking the Palestinian people in Gaza. These folks was going around feeding them, taking care of them, medical treatment, and work their way in so they would get vote, not to mention strong arming, so they would get the vote. And they took over the government. They wasn't even a government, you know, they ain't even got the acumen to run a government, but they won because of the treatment that the Israelis was doing to the Palestinians for fucking 80 years. You should soften these damn people up, and they'll let anybody come in there that'll stop fucking the enemy of my enemy is my friend type shit. Right. And, you know, I don't understand why any sensible human being couldn't look at this over the years and understand that Israel, right or wrong, have been a little bit pushy. And once you started taking over places in the damn West Bank, and then you got some American president out of no fucking where tips the table towards Israel, you're going to start to have some really big rumblings. All the motherfuckers that they've been holding back, just like the right wing of our fucking government, the Republicans, you can only hold them crazy motherfuckers back for so long. Pretty soon they take over your wing of the government. Well, that's what the fuck's happening over there. The motherfucking people over there been arguing, saying we should do this. And you had those moderates talking about, hold on, let's do some more negotiating. And now the motherfucking monkeys done got a hold to the switch. And now you got rockets and shit and folks getting raped and kids getting killed because the hard right wing done took the fuck over. Same shit happening over here. Now we gonna listen to one of them talk. Peace, y'all.
All right, one more time about this thing about partition that the Arabs rejected. I cannot stress this enough. The Israelis, first of all, the Jews at the time, because Israel didn't exist yet, the Jews in Palestine were not happy with what the United Nations Commission on Palestine, that was what was formed in order to resolve this question of what was going to happen to Palestine. They weren't happy because they were given a very small territory by the commission. They weren't happy that Jerusalem was severed from the Jewish part of the partition, but they said, okay, we'll accept the compromise. The Arabs rejected all, formally by vote. We got the record. They rejected everything and would not compromise on the two-state solution. Now, here's what happened. The British tried to work out an agreement between Arabs and the Jews in Palestine. They couldn't do it. That's why they turned it over to the UN, because they couldn't make heads or tails out of it, because neither side was going to give in, especially the Arabs. So what happened is they established this commission. Delegates from 11 nations went and saw, and they all agreed when they studied the issue after going to Palestine, that the conflicting national aspirations of the Jews and the Arabs could not be reconciled. So here's what they did. The delegates of 7 of the nations, Canada, Czechoslovakia, Guatemala, the Netherlands, Peru, Sweden, Uruguay, said they need 2 separate states. They're going to be joined by an economic union. Jerusalem is going to be an international enclave under the control of the Arabs. 3 nations, India, Iran, and Yugoslavia, said have a unitary one state with Arabs and Jewish provinces. Now, again, when the General Assembly rejected the Arab demanding one Arab state, because look, they said that none of this was going to happen without the Jews being given a portion of that land. And most of it was in the Negev desert, by the way, not the best part of the land, not the most fertile part of the land, but probably the least productive part of the land. But again, the Arabs rejected all of that. They rejected all of it. They did not want a Jewish state in their midst under any circumstances. No way, no how, no how. Period.
Okay, now.
Hey, so listen, hold on. Let me say this right here. Sarge, you said this last week that the Arabs rejected it, right? And I gave you an example of me going to your house and trying to force you to give me half or whatever. You're going to reject that. And what I'm trying to say, that you're not making an argument whenever you say the Arabs rejected their proposal because the Palestinians was living there, and you're asking them to compromise and give away something that they already was occupying. So whenever you say that the Arabs rejected, you ain't really saying anything except for they was living there and somebody proposed something that didn't go with what they knew indigenously to their land. They was trying to insert the fucking Jews into Palestine, and they rejected that. They had every right to reject it.
Tyrone.
No, don't you stop. Tyrone, me shut up. They had every right to reject it. Just because the Europeans said that y'all gonna settle this way didn't mean that the Palestinians had to agree with them. Good Lord.
Tyrone, here's something that you're neglecting to say. Here's what you're neglecting to say. The areas that the Zionists lived in were sparsely populated with Arabs. There were not many Arabs living there. The Arabs flocked to those regions when the Zionists made the area fertile and productive. They came there looking for work. They were not there in force prior to the Zionists developing the area. The Arab leaders said so.
But
I'll give you their statements.
But you keep saying the Arabs rejected it. You keep saying the Arabs rejected it like somebody's supposed to say, okay, well, shit, it was their fault. No.
See, you act like Palestinians were driven off the land. They were not. That's not true.
Hey, Tyrone.
Let Elisa go, and then you, Mama's boy. Go ahead, Elisa.
Yes, sir.
No, Mama's boy, go ahead. You can go ahead.
Oh, what I was going to say was, just because I'm not planting fucking, begonias in a part of my fucking property don't mean Sarge can just fucking go squat on my shit. So I don't understand that logic either. See, what I hear is some homerism for America and the Western civilization. What they say is right. That's what I hear. I hear a motherfucker saying because Western civilization said they can have that land, it was proper. And I think that's a hill of beans of bullshit. Just like it's a hill of beans of bullshit that the Southern states got to dictate what goes on in America after they fucking lost. Motherfuckers didn't go to jail.
But they didn't lose.
Shut the fuck up.
The Israelis didn't lose. That's the point. They didn't lose.
I did not interrupt you. You faggot. I didn't interrupt you, so shut the fuck up.
Your argument is weak as dishwater, but make it.
I'm going to be the first person.
Do your best.
On and let me finish.
Make your argument, quit bitching bitching.
Okay.
Make your argument and quit your fucking bitching and make your goddamn argument.
Okay,
I can't because you talking. Calm down, brother. You just mad because you can't interrupt me.
No, quit bitching and make the argument.
Well, you want me to forget and come up with something else like your hairdo?
Oh my
God. Oh, fuck this nigga. Oh, fuck you, stupid bastard. Go to hell. Goddamn piece of shit. Fuck you, nigga.
So the fact that the Palestinians been catching freaking hell for 80 years has nothing to do with it. Just because Western civilization says it don't matter, you got homers saying it don't matter. And we all basically are saying, if you're gonna be fair, be fucking fair. And fair is getting folks they two-state solution. Israel got a small little sandy part of the damn land, and almost 80 years later, they own all of that shit. Now, if you take a look at the small little portion of land that they commandeered, and I say commandeered, okay, they done ended up commandeering most of that Palestinian land over there. Now, where's the fucking consensus against that? How in the fuck you gonna take most of my shit, still keep moving shit in, and I ain't got shit to say about it because your Western form of government says they can do that?
Well,
fuck
Mama
your
Boy, let me say this right
government.
here. Let me say this right here. Whenever you're talking about Israel taking the land, you got to think about gentrification in America, right? When they gentrify over here, the people with the money buy up the property. That's what happens when you gentrify over here. When you're looking at what in part went on in Israel, what happened was the Jews was making a lot of money. The Palestinian, like I said, was humble people. So the Palestinians would pay people for their land. Right. And they kept doing it, you know, and a lot of that land was taken. But a lot of that land, the reason that the Jews people arguing for it is because they made more money than the Palestinians. So they bought it out, a lot of it. So that's just, yeah.
Hey, Tyrone.
That sounds like a Western. That sounds like a Western civilization takeover, like what happened over here, bro.
That's exactly what.
Well, let me tell you something. Mr. Western civilization takeover. The British took it from the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire took it from the Romans. How in the fuck do you think How you think Constantinople became Istanbul? Because the goddamn Turks and the Arabs took it from the Romans.
Boy, sorry to be at 100 miles per hour all the time.
Yeah, and the British took it from the Ottomans. That's the way it works, mama's boy.
Hey, Tyrone.
Go ahead,
let me ask you a question. Did you hear the story down in Jackson, Mississippi about this? The brother name was Dexter. I forgot the young man's name. Dexter. I forgot his name. But this young brother was hit by an off-duty police officer.
Yeah, I seen that.
He was hit and killed. Man, that was some sickening shit. They took his body and they hid his body. I mean, they buried the dude without his mom. No, they said it took her 6 months to find out where her son was. She found out her son was in a pauper's grave. They had buried him to cover it up. I said,
I think Dr. Richie's show did that story today.
Okay. Oh, he did today. Yeah, I heard about it about a couple of days ago, and I was like, his mom must be floored. His mom was probably saying, they actually buried my son. My son was killed in a hit in a car. A hit. Actually, it was a hit and run. Actually, a hit. The cops buried him because it was a cop, a police officer who did this. They buried his body. It took his mother 6 months to find out about her son was dead. I said that's insane. I mean, this stuff you can't make. You can't. I say that because I'm trying to find some clarity and some understanding in this. That you can't make this stuff up anymore. You can't.
Yeah, only in America.
Only in America.
That dude was murdered. That's murder. That's murder. That guy should be locked up. That's murder. That's murder. Crazy. It's crazy. That's murder.
Only in America.
So that's murder. That's murder. And just like the sister down in Orlando, the sister they found hanging from a tree about 3 weeks ago. They said it was a suicide. Her parents went the hell on. They said, my 31-year-old daughter ain't commit no goddamn suicide. Somebody put her in that damn tree. But you know how people are, man. They don't want to hear this stuff. That they want to. They don't want to hear this stuff. They don't want to hear this stuff. But yeah. But I thought that was an insane story, man. That was insane. Damn shame. I'm just staying away from Mississippi. God damn. That's insane. Yeah.
Yep, these corrupt cops. We got a corrupt cop on the phone right now. You know, he probably buried a couple of bodies himself.
I damn sure know he planted some evidence on somebody.
How many bodies you buried, Sarge?
I tried to get your motherfucking ass, but I missed out on the opportunity.
Yeah,
it would have been 3. It would have been more than that if I'd been able to catch up with you.
I'm way too slick for your old stinking ass.
He probably done buried a couple of bodies.
Don't say that. I said, don't say that.
Don't say what? Sorry, buried some bodies?
Yeah, don't say that.
That's the truth. Sorry, though, he done did some corrupt stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Tyrone.
He won't tell us what it is.
Yeah.
No, he ain't gonna never do that.
Well, I told you about one story one time, and y'all motherfuckers accused me of beating the guy half to death when I told people I told about the guy getting beat half to death. And then he tried to accuse me of it.
So your white racist partner beat the guy up, and what happened? You
see what I mean about you lying bastard? You just say any fucking thing because it suits your purposes. You don't have an argument against what I have to say. You just say any goddamn thing. And that's easy as hell to do. I can just say all kind of things about you too, but that wouldn't mean it was true.
Did you write them up is my question.
Yes, I did. I was asked to write up, and I wrote a report on the incident.
And what happened?
And submit it through the chain.
And what happened? My superior submitted it to the Chicago Police Department, and the Chicago Police Department then the Chicago Police Department took their own administrative procedures about it. What was the end result is my question. Nothing.
You know what? You're going to hold me responsible? What the fuck was I supposed to do? Go march on City Hall? No. I want you to tell me what was I supposed to do? Go march on City Hall?
No, I'll tell you. I'll take that one, y'all. I'll take that one. For $500, if you feel strongly about what you're doing and you feel like what they doing is wrong, you should resign. On principle alone.
I didn't feel that strongly about it then. I didn't feel that strongly about it. Because I didn't.
Of course.
So there it is. And I'm going to leave it at that. I didn't feel that strongly about it, and I didn't resign. And that's the truth.
Well.
All right, well, let's leave it there.
Hey, Sarge, you prove on a nightly basis that you was a shitty cop, and you just proved it now.
So listen,
yeah, I know, because you're such a pure angel yourself, aren't you?
Listen, how do you
feel? You're just a paragon of ethics and principles, eh?
I wasn't no cop.
Okay, so how do you feel about the story that Joshua just said, where the cops hit the guy, it was hit and run, and then they buried the body and didn't let nobody know?
Okay, now wait a minute. Okay, now you're asking me what I think about it or how I feel about it. Which one do you want to know?
Either one, both of them, just express yourself.
Because there's a difference. There's a difference between the two.
Well, speak on both.
Be a human.
Whatever the fuck, answer it.
What I think about it is that these men committed a criminal action for which they should be held liable criminally. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. Now, what do I feel about it? I feel that anybody who would violate their oath of office in such a manner as that should definitely be prosecuted and jailed for it, not just quit.
So you thinking
his name was Dexter Wade, guys.
So you feel like there is a dereliction enough a duty that you don't have to go to jail?
Did I say that? No, I didn't say that. Let me say what I said again.
You didn't specify.
Any officer who was involved in a homicide and then conceals the homicide is guilty of a crime. A crime. That's not police work. That is criminal activity. They should be prosecuted, and if convicted, they should be jailed.
So after an event like that, if you take a macro look at the police in this country and they're able to do something like that, Sarge, don't you think the institution is corrupt, brother?
No, I don't.
Well, my question is this oath thing that you brought up. So what do you think should happen to any officer, not just a certain time, any officer that violates their oath of office? What do you think should happen to them? At the very least.
What is the offense that it's a violation of their oath?
It doesn't matter what the offense is. They violated their oath of office.
Okay, I don't think they should be prosecuted for taking a donut without remuneration. No, I don't think
there should be some sort of.
That's why I asked you. That's why I asked you what is the offense they've committed as a violation of their oath.
What I asked you is at the very, very lowest level, the very smallest thing, that could happen to them at the least for violating their oath of office. What should happen? There is a minimum punishment, right? What is your minimum punishment?
I suppose the minimum punishment would be some violation of departmental regulation for which they could be disciplined. At a maximum, they could be prosecuted and jailed. So there's a spectrum in between those two polar extremes.
I actually think at a minimum, if they violate their oath of office, they should lose their office. They should be fired at the very minimum.
Well, I don't think they should be violated for lose their office because they take a donut and didn't pay for it.
You're actually getting to the core.
Wow.
You're actually getting to the core.
They taking donuts.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. Hold on. The broken windows. Broken windows. Hold on, Sarge. You say broken windows was necessary, yet you could let a cop take a damn donut? Are you serious?
Listen to me.
They're supposed to set an example, son, and they're taking a donut and you're looking at it like, oh, that's nothing but somebody breaks windows, somebody urinates on a corner. In public, I think that's unnecessary. But what I'm saying is that you're going to put them in jail for drinking an open container of alcohol, yet you're talking about broken windows, but the donut can be stolen by a cop that's supposed to uphold the law.
Wait, no, I didn't say stolen. I said a gratuity. That's what is known as a gratuity. It's not theft. It's accepting a gratuity. You know what that is? You know what that is?
You said taking a donut without fucking paying for it.
Paying for it.
Okay. Let me say it again. A gratuity, meaning to accept a favor from a merchant and not paying for the donut. There's this, it's on the house, officer. No, I'm making it clear. No, I am clarifying. God damn it. I am clarifying.
You fucking changed it.
I didn't change a goddamn thing. You're playing gotcha, Sarge. You love that shit, don't you? Gotcha, Sarge.
You're changing it.
Okay, listen to me. No. I'm not changing a goddamn thing.
We all agree that we heard you change it.
If you're gonna be this fucking petty, then we can't have a discussion.
No. But hold on. Hold on. This is the thing. Hold on. Correction needs to be corrected, not stupidity like the Donald Trump shit. Like, oh no, let him get away. No, let's correct it. Hold on. Let's correct the situation and move on. Okay,
Jay. Okay, here's the correction. I was meant to make it clear. I was thinking of gratuities.
Okay.
Now, is that not a precise enough term for you? Excuse me for not being absolutely clear.
Now you clear.
Okay, now, do I think an officer should lose their job over accepting a minor gratuity the first time? No. Some departments, though, will fire you if you get caught at it. It depends on the department. Others will discipline you. Others will give you a letter of reprimand. It depends on the department.
Okay,
Well,
so
let's
listen,
not
hold
get.
on, wait a damn minute. Listen, Mama Boy was very specific. He said what would happen to
Yeah.
a cop if he break the oath of office. And you're
Exactly.
talking about, wait a minute, you're talking about a minor gratuity and all this kind of bullshit. The oath of office is the oath of office. You're not supposed to break that oath of office, period. So there should be some, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Just shut up. There should be some type of fucking penalty that comes with breaking the oath of office. Goddamn.
I didn't say there shouldn't be. You said they should be fired. That's what you said.
Exactly.
Okay, that's your opinion. I don't agree with it in all instances.
Well, first of all,
that lies the problem. That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
All right, fine. We don't agree. What else is new? So what else is new? We don't agree.
You know what, Tyrone? If most people behave at their job because they fear losing their job, let's just be honest. We like to think that most people are honest people, but we know it without rules, people will go ape shit, right? And if a person feels like they're gonna lose their job, they don't do it, right? They don't smoke weed, they don't fucking drink when they got a CDL, they don't be out partying and losing their, none of that crap, right? So why shouldn't a peace officer who is held at a way much higher standard than your average citizen, because they are trained to use a gun. They are trained to kill, make killing decisions on the fly. These people are entrusted with our lives, and we would let them slide when they break their oath of office. How serious that is, I could see if it was something like they break a policy at their police department. But an oath,
well, they kill people for breaking for committing civil violations.
Exactly.
The oath of office frequently involves accepting favors. Accepting a dinner is accepting a favor, even if you're not obligated to do anything directly in return for it. Well, so that's what I was speaking of.
Don't fucking do it.
It's wrong, Sarge. You can't.
All right, now the question is, what is done about it when it's fine? You guys think it should be the professional death penalty. That's what you guys want to happen.
I think they should lose their job.
Listen, brother, if it's wrong, it's wrong, period. Just like we have to.
I'm not arguing that it's not wrong. You want them to be executed professionally. That's your response.
I want them to lose their job. You damn right. Do the damn.
All right, then. We don't agree. You made it clear. I made it clear. Now we don't agree on that.
I mean, Sarge, you're a prime example of letting shit slide. They let you slide a lot. And you probably got away with
Tell me something. Tell me, since you know something about my career, what did I get to slide on, Mama's boy?
I'm gonna tell you what you got to slide on. I'm gonna tell you what you got to slide on. The fact that you didn't stand up for an innocent citizen while he got his brains beat out. Right. You didn't put your fucking career on the line.
I did stand up for him. I intervened by putting myself in between the officers who were assaulting him and removing him to my squad car. I did.
You should have arrested him.
Oh, you're crazy, no motherfucker. Yes, you're fucking mind. 15 cops. You're crazy.
You can't arrest.
You would have.
That was a.
No, I shouldn't have.
You would have arrested an average damn fucking person.
There is such a thing as there is such a thing as discretion being the better part of valor in all situations.
Yeah, it's called a thin blue line.
Exactly.
That's crazy. I made a note of everyone that was there, every squad car unit that responded, and I put all of that in my report.
And that's all you wanted to do. That's it.
No, that's not all I wanted to do. That's all I did do.
It gave you plausible deniability to say, hey, it's out of my hands.
No, I did my duty. That was what my duty required. I'm not trying to claim I went above and beyond the call of duty, but I at least met the minimum. Nobody requires you to fall on a fucking hand grenade.
All of these statements that you make.
Yeah, you're crazy if you think that shit.
All of these statements that you're making are statements that a corrupt cop would make.
All right, you know something? I swear to God, I just love this demanding human perfection in all manners of things. Police officers are expected to be gods. That's crazy. Even I know better than that.
Hold on, Sarge. They're supposed to uphold the law, Sarge.
Oh,
Sarge,
stop it.
hold on. They're supposed to set an example.
I'm not swallowing this for a month. Stop it.
So
please.
wait a minute, you're not.
This is getting to the area of the absurd now. Coming from you guys.
Sarge. So now, wait. So upholding the law and showing.
Yeah, giving all the shit you want to look the other way on.
Sarge, that's not the way you do things?
Listen to me. After all the stuff I heard you guys want to look the other way on, like rioting, like murder, like assault, like letting bastards out of jail who ought to be locked up, now all of a sudden you got the highest possible ethical standards for police. Really?
What are we talking about? Hold on.
I'm not buying it.
Wait a minute.
What are we talking about what's going on right now with the war? We saying we don't want that.
You can't let this man get away with it.
Come on.
You can't let the man get away with it, Jay.
This is beyond absurd now.
You can't let the man get away with it.
The summer of love in 2020, and you guys are willing to overlook it all because they had grievances? Oh, please, spare me. Spare me your outrage.
Wait a minute, Sarge. Now, you yourself hold police officers to a higher standard than your average citizen.
Oh, I'll admit to that. Yeah, I do.
So where are you coming with this holier than thou all of a sudden? Now you trying to
again, we were talking about my actions.
Let me finish my question before you get to running your dry mouth. What makes you think you have the audacity to compare a police officer and the level that they live at to an average citizen when an average citizen has a right, has an absolute right to hold the police officer to a higher standard? And
because the actions,
there's no way you can compare the two.
Stop being redundant and let me answer. Stop being redundant and let me answer the goddamn question. Stop saying it over and over again. You're being redundant unnecessarily.
Clearly not finished. Clearly not finished.
Well, get to the point.
What makes you think? What makes you think that we sweet honeybees over here gonna have the gall and audacity to compare ourselves to the high standard of a police officer?
Because the criminals that were enabled in the behavior that I just spoke of were enabled by the political masters who run the police. That's why. And you support many of them.
You talking in circles, Sarge.
You're ignoring it. You are ignoring what you, in fact, helped to enable. You are ignoring it.
Both ways. You want to have it.
No, I'm having it both ways because that's the way it is.
You want a cop to be an ordinary citizen when it suits you.
No. I'm saying again. The police officers who wanted to arrest those people during the summer of love were ordered by the political masters to not do it. They were ordered to not do it. They were ordered to overlook violations of the law. That's the difference between me, you, and them. That is the difference.
And get caught with money, get caught with crack, get caught with guns.
Stop it. Nobody's swallowing your shit, mama's boy. You're making it all up. You're just making it up.
You want to treat them like an ordinary citizen.
Because the political masters that you support prevented them from doing their duty when they wanted to do it.
You want to protect your homies, so you want to
listen to this, man. Narrative.
And that's why you
nothing but.
The truth.
You know I'm telling the truth too. They were told to stand down. Don't arrest anybody. Don't chase them. Don't chase the little darling. In Chicago, you can't even do a foot pursuit anymore.
Let's get this straight.
You got to be kidding me.
Let's get this straight, Sarge. Let's get this
straight.
Yeah,
you better get it straight, because I know it.
You need to be quiet.
No, you need to be quiet. You're making shit up and lying to people.
Well, hey, let me lie.
Yeah, that's what you do best. Do it.
Okay. Then shut the fuck up and let me lie.
Hell no, nigga. Fuck you.
Well, hey.
I ain't shutting up. You don't get the. I'm not your fucking little boy. I'm not your little boy, you goddamn cocksucking motherfucker. You don't tell me to shut up. Fuck you, you little piece of shit. You arrogant bastard. You go to hell.
Calm down. What is wrong with y'all? Jesus.
Arrogant motherfucker. Fuck this fool.
I'm just arrogant enough to want to talk by myself, not with you talking at the same time, so.
Yeah, talk to yourself, motherfucker. Go to hell. Good night.
Okay. God damn. What the hell?
He just mad because I'm right. He want it both ways. He want the cop to be Superman when they kill a nigga, and then he want him to be a fucking regular old person when they get caught with fucking drugs and a prostitute. That's bullshit.
All right, I guess y'all done, huh?
That was the only point I was trying to make. He wanted to be, he the one got mad because I was telling the truth. The truth was finna come out. He was trying to block it.
Well, look like he hung up. Yeah, I think he hung up.
Boo-hoo. Get caught in his hypocrisy. That's when he want to leave. Can't defend hypocrisy. I never volunteered to be a police officer. So how can I think I'm holier than now? How do I think I could tell somebody what to do with authority? I never wanted to be a cop. He the one wanted to be a cop. That's a personal choice. So holding me to a cop standard, it's kind of crazy, Tyrone. I never want to be a cop.
Well, that's the way they do. They always make excuses whenever they the one signed up for the job to actually be better than regular civilians. You know, that you got to hold them to a higher standard than civilians because of the job. But whenever they make mistakes, they want you to say, "Ooh, look at the cop," you know, poor little cop.
Yeah, he's not a cop. That's Joey from down the block.
Yeah.
You know, and that makes no damn sense. He was a cop when he shot Lil Willie. Why can't he be a cop when he get caught with 35,000 and 15 rocks?
Mm-hmm.
It's them same cops that was polluting the black neighborhood during the crack era. It was them same cops, just like Sarge, that turned the other way. Them same cops coming in there giving niggas guns and pitting them against one nigga on the corner and selling dope to one, not selling enough dope to the other, or changing the prices on one to create problems with somebody else. See, I know all about what the cops and the undercover police done did in the fucking neighborhood. And I'm just the nigga to say it. Sarge just ain't the motherfucker to admit it, because he know that's exactly what the fuck goes on in our community. They send fucking, you know, crash test dummies into our neighborhood to fuck us up. Corrupt cops is just that. They should lose their fucking badge. And they should, if they did a crime, they should be prosecuted just like they would prosecute us.
Well, that's what happens. They don't. They protect them. You know, that union is a big part of that, protecting them, the fraternal order of the police, and defending what they do and allowing them to get away with it.
But if we look at it like this, and this goes for police officers too, they are human beings. Any human being can be corrupt. Any human being can be righteous. They can be both. So if you're caught being corrupt, police, citizens, whatever, it should be the same across the board. But it's not, because they're held to a higher standard, so nothing is done. That's the problem. And I think Sarge probably, this is just my opinion, needs to look at police officers as human beings. Mm-hmm. They can be corrupt as anybody else. They can be corrupt as anyone else.
Well, you know what they should do is my opinion would be that they need to get rid of the qualified immunity. Because once you do that, you neutralize all that dumb shit that they're doing. You stop a lot of that what they're doing. Once you get rid of the qualified immunity.
Police.
Huh?
Now, I mean, when it comes to criminal certain acts and things like that, you do. I mean, well, it depends on the act that they commit. Yeah, that needs to go away. But on some things,
I mean, I agree.
But if you just do it across the board, you're not going to have any police officers. We're not going to have law enforcement. Because nobody would get involved with that.
That's why I think.
But hold on. But the only thing I'm saying, one second, Mama's boy. The only thing I'm saying, get rid of the qualified immunity. When I say that, there in that qualified immunity, getting rid of it, yes, there should be some stipulations. Yes, because a cop will have to use his weapon at times. Period. That's how that goes. But what they're doing with the qualified immunity, with a critic had brought up, which was a good point. He said when they break the law, and this guy was a former cop. He said no, when they break the law as an officer, what they do is run it and go qualified immunity. He said this is something that they should stop allowing them, not allowing them to do. He said that's the problem, that they are abusing the qualified immunity. So if you get if you stop it, then that way that'll make the bad cops think twice of doing things to people, knowing that you no longer have qualified immunity, so you just can't shoot people up the way you're doing. Shoot people 10 times and say, "Well, I felt threat." That doesn't work anymore.
Well,
it will become a deterrent. It will deter people. Some of them.
Think of this, everybody. Think of this, everybody. Joshua, think of this. If you can prove that officer did not follow his oath of office and you can fire him, he's no longer covered by that qualified immunity.
I agree. Mm-hmm. That's when they should not be able to use it.
And see, violating someone's human rights, fucking corruption, all of that shit, all those things are easy violations to their oath of office. And once you fire them, you can put their bitch ass in jail.
And look, it's something else they need to start doing too, and which was brought up, which I thought was a good point. And I've always thought this in my brain, that what they should do is not let them resign. When they know they committed a crime, you know what some of them do? They go and resign because they know they did wrong. So don't let them resign until the case is totally closed.
See, a lot of that has to do with retirement. They see some shit come up, and they quit so they can get their retirement money.
Retirement, and so that's why I'm saying that they should not allow them to do. They said, no, you're not retiring yet. You're gonna be investigated for shooting that guy 18 times, asshole. So you're not gonna resign yet.
That's why I think firing them.
You can't stop someone from resigning. If they go ahead and decide to resign, they will not get their pension and their this and that. But you can't stop someone from resigning. That you can't do.
Retiring,
you cannot allow them to resign or retire and still get. You see what I'm saying? I think you can go ahead and resign, but you will not get such and such.
Remember how they did Peter Strzok? Remember how they did Peter? It wasn't Peter Strzok. It was the other. It was McCabe or McBride or whatever the damn little white boy was. He was like 5 days away from retirement, and they fired him, and he didn't get his pension. He had to sue him to get it, and that's what I'm. That's what I'm thinking. I think like that because once the mayor takes you off the roster, you are an average everyday citizen. You're an ex-police officer, and they can do whatever they want to. And you notice whenever they find a cop that's done something fucked up, before they bring up criminal charges on them, what does the police department do? Fucking fire their ass.
Mm-hmm. And so I mean, that's how I look at it. And then my third opinion would be is also you have to start holding his chief and his supervisors accountable, meaning that when he do wrong, we're coming after you too. Because sometimes what these chiefs do, they back that behavior by saying, well, I didn't see there was no wrongdoing what he did. Stop saying that. You know he was wrong. Don't say he was, no, they need to be held accountable too. Now, whether or not fine them, I wouldn't say
if it can be proven. If it can be proven,
you're gonna have to have an independent commission look at them videos and shit like that.
Yeah. If it can be proven that their superiors are covering for them, yes, they should be held accountable. But you don't hold them accountable if you can't prove that, because they may not be they may not be covering for them. But if you can prove they've been covering, yeah, hold them accountable. Because I don't believe in just holding people accountable just because they're the superior. The superior might not always be covering or might not know. If you can prove that they're covering for them, hold them accountable.
But you know what this police officer, this ex-police officer said, and what kills me, they always tell the truth once they leave the force, they be telling the truth. But he said that sometimes, you know, when these chiefs have these meetings, they tell them to do that. You know, they applaud that behavior, and he said that's part of the problem. He said so this when they say culture in the police forces, this is part of that culture that these chiefs and these supervisors put out there, and these officers go out there and they do exactly what these chiefs and supervisors say that it's okay to do. They go out there and do exactly that. So
I agree with you. I agree with that.
See, there go another man that need to lose his job right there. He's not living up to his oath of office. Lose his job.
That is true. But let's just say I'm a lieutenant and I'm over this particular squad. I'm not covering. I'm not doing any of that. And I got some bad apples in my group that's doing stuff. I do not want to be held accountable for the shit that they doing. Now, if you can prove I've been covering for them, hold me accountable.
Yes, that's my point right there. I agree with that.
Across the board, not just
all the way around. That's every cop, from the littlest to the biggest. If you screwing around, the very bare minimum, we firing you. That way you keep the qualified immunity for a good shoot or whatever. But if you found to be fucking around, you're gonna get fired. It will keep. I bet you'll find a lot less fucking around.
You will, and you found more supervisors and stuff on the top being accountable to their squad, and their squad being accountable to them. So yeah, but you don't just clean the board because you don't know. You have to prove that the superiors are covering and allowing this. Then you go after them too.
Yeah, well, that. I mean, there's one police officer. I forgot this woman's name. She's a black woman, and she was a police in Los Angeles for like 25 years or so. And she finally, but she retired, and she's still doing her little podcast. So we begin to talk about civilians and police officers. And she was saying that I don't understand why cops get mad when people run or talk back to her. She said civilians do that to us. They would talk back to me. They would call me names. I didn't pull my gun out and shoot them. She said, I don't understand why people do that. People are defiant of authority. She said that's just part of some human nature. She said that they're defiant when it comes to authority. So she said, get used to that. If you're an officer and you get mad because someone's talking back to you, you shouldn't be an officer. People are going to talk back to you. They're going to call you names. They're going to even spit at you. You know, she said that comes with that job.
Well, y'all
but
listen.
You go down and blow some.
I got something to do tomorrow, so I'm getting ready to get off here, guys. And what I'm gonna do is open up the lines here, and YouTube. If y'all want to participate in the show, y'all can call in. And I'm pretty sure
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
Talking. I appreciate you calling in, Miss Elisa and Mama's Boy and Joshua, Jay, Big OC.
Yeah, good show.
We didn't hear too much from Big OC tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Where is Big OC at?
He's still listening, but I guess he's busy. But we didn't hear too much from him. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah, I took the hell he would have took because, Sarge here at OC, Sarge started going
y'all need to
hot.
stop yelling every damn weekend. I be trying to keep it on damn on damn YouTube, but you and Sarge, y'all be just going there. Like Jesus
Well,
Christ.
Tyrone, I admit to being wrong about raising my voice back, but I mean, damn, he's always cutting you off. And I get tired of it. I get tired of getting cut off. I mean, if you be in the middle of a thought and here he comes because he don't agree. He can't wait until you finish talking to say his disagreement. He got to cut you off in the middle of what you're saying. I get tired of it.
Yeah, it is aggravating.